I'm at Race Church Road. I went to Waynesboro to bring this man down to this address, and now he's trying to force his way into a house. I'm afraid to move my vehicle. They're fighting in there.
It's inside the house now?
Yeah.
You have your doors locked?
It's open. I'm in a van.
You need to make yourself safe, okay? Even if you've got to drive away from there to get away from him and close that and lock that door. Do that for me now, please.
Okay, wait a minute.
Oh, Kelly's dopey. Hey, everyone. How are you? Hey, Adam.
Hey. Sorry, I'll put my camera on in just a minute.
Yeah. Callie's going to come join us in a few on her avatar there. And she's just, yeah. I was like, yeah, why not? Come on, Callie. Come on, join us. It is 1 week till Christmas. Did you know that?
Don't remind me.
I was looking at the calendar going, okay, it's 1 week. And thanks, Krista. I'm still really underneath the weather a lot. I'm not going to lie. It's just lingering in there, head cold and stuff like that. But whatever, is what it is. It just, I'm tired of feeling tired.
I know how that feels. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, oh, thank you. I actually just, it was so funny. My husband quickly, okay, I love my husband to pieces. So I said, husband, when you're at the store the other day, can you go grab me my hair coloring? Because I just use the triple highlights 36, which one that I've always used for the most part. Every now and again I veer off of it, but it's very rare. So my husband's like, yeah, I know which one. I'm like, sure, okay. So, I message him, say, hey, husband, whatever. So husband comes home and he goes, here you go. And I'm like, what's that? And he's like, your hair coloring. And I'm like, and it was Garnier, okay? Garnier. And I'm like, honey, that's not my hair coloring. But even though it was kind of close enough to the color, and I'm like, well, what's this? And I said, I literally left you a message. I text you with the number and everything. And he's like, yeah, you said 56. And I'm like, no, I said 36. And the triple highlights L'Oreal. This is Garnier, so whatever.
I like it. It's a little darker. I think it's pretty.
You know what? And so I just got tired of looking at the grays.
Right. Your husband just bought you the color he wanted to see you wear.
I think that was what happened there. But anyways, so I mean, whatever. It is what it is. And yeah, it was close enough.
Sonny, when you say you love your husband to pieces,
yeah.
How many pieces are you gonna leave him in?
Yeah.
Like Lorena Bobbitt?
Right. Like from his head to his toes, yeah, but as one, not part. Yeah. But anyways, yeah. So but I just for my husband to do stuff like that. If I really wanted him to, I could be like, husband, can you put this in my hair for me? But he was gaming at the time, so anyways.
At least you didn't ask him to buy you anything else.
My husband will buy me whatever. Actually, he's great.
There's never been a more scared look on someone's face than a man in the female like health aisle in the pharmacy trying to pick something out for his wife that she asked him to go get.
Yeah, my husband's really good that way. Like honestly, it's so honestly refreshing when you have a husband that literally is, you don't gotta argue with them to clean. You don't gotta anything. It's just,
Well, Sonny, you know what your ex-husband would say? Well, you've raised this one right.
Yeah, you raised this. That's what my ex-husband would say. Absolutely. I haven't seen this name before, but hello, Rose. Feminine protector.
Hey, Rose.
Adam. Yeah, feminine.
Exactly. It's a member.
Delphi. Let's see. I've already seen the records first, there are no Indiana seals. Right. They have multiple.
Yeah,
Right.
we'll get to that.
Plus actual certificates are sealed. You know what? Absolutely. Exactly. Exactly what the family member said today, as well. And so, yeah. So, when I seen them, okay, I'm not even going to use the actual term, because I can't even stand the fact that somebody actually is putting that out there, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, there's sloppy and then there's just sloppy. But before we get into that, let's quickly say some hellos and thank everyone for joining us tonight. And
Yeah.
I get it. I understand that Mr. Tom Webster's on right now and going over his Delphi.
Oh, wait,
stuff.
gotta go.
Yeah, gotta go. I caught a couple of minutes of it, but Tom's really great for, he's one of those ones like my twin, just very structured, kind of like Steve from True Crime, like has all that structure to the time frame and stuff like that. So, like I said, good on him
Just
for,
like us.
but yeah. The thing is that I could be like that. I just choose not to be honest with you. I just kind of, I don't even like to sugarcoat a video, too much. It's just like, here you go. Here's the information,
Yeah.
and then every now and again, I'll be like, okay, here, let me put in some extra titles and, little, but I kind of just like, here you go. You
can definitely get in them. You can definitely get in that that mindset where you go down. You're
yeah.
like, it's like an avenue, and you're going straight. You're going straight towards your point.
Yeah, I can do. To me, lives are kind of, for me, it's just like lives are, talking about things, talking with the chat and stuff like that. I think there was someone that actually put on a post something like, it was like, one of those backhanded compliments when they're like, well, it's better than a 4-hour live. At least this one, you're straight to the point. Well, that's the whole point of videos. Videos are videos. To me, lives are lives. There's stuff to talk about. And I don't believe in any particular structure as the live goes on. We know that we're going to be talking about certain things, but we also know that we're going to engage with the chat as well. And there's all types of people that make up this world. There's your structured and there's your ones that just go with the flow of things. And we are more of a go with the flow of things type of channel. And when I put out videos, then I'll put out videos. Again, so let's give out a quick some highs here.
Real quickly, my favorite thing about that is when we sprinkle in those little things.
Those sprinkles.
It's worth watching the 4-hour live, even if you are just watching it for the info.
Yeah, right.
We just make you deal with our personalities.
Right. The secret ingredient, right? The secret ingredient sometimes, eh?
Right. It could be 3 hours and 22 minutes, but we'll throw in by the way, Richard Allen was on the bridge looking at fish.
Right.
2 weeks before the affidavit comes out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you threw in that sprinkle a few lives ago there, when you said that there was it a casing or a bullet that was found in the backyard, supposedly?
I mean, what I've heard is that there was potentially a fire, like the casing from a whatever you call it, a fired bullet.
Yeah.
I'm not a gun person, so I apologize if I got the terminology wrong. But in the backyard that matched and added to the science of the unspent round. But I think there's a lot more to come with what law enforcement found in that search warrant and what they've come to find since then.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Kelly.
Hey.
You sound so low. Let's see here.
Let me come back. Sorry, it wouldn't let me sign in. Hi, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Where's your Christmas avatar, Missy?
Yeah, I know. I should probably fix that. Well,
Hey, I'd like to be where your avatar's at for Christmas.
Yeah, right.
Okay, let's quickly do some hellos here first. Hey, Aussie's in the house. Brittany's in the house. Brett Decker, how are you, Brett? Ray Jones is in the house. I got my fifth eye on you, Ray Jones. Let's see here. We got Callie in the house. Thanks for joining us, Callie. Krista Cole, thank you. See through How are you doing? Jill Moser. Hi, Jill. And let's see who else is here. Tammy77. Hey, Tammy. Thank you so much. Shimona V. Thanks, Shimona.
Great hair.
They're complimenting my hair. Thank you.
Well, even Shimona's got great hair.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's like a beautiful highlights in there. Is that your picture actually, Shimona? You never know nowadays, right? Because people use whatever for avatars. Hey, true crime housewife. I should have said that better. Hey, Streamlabs. Hey, Rose. Let's see, Mustang. Hey, Mustang. How are you? Support with Staffa. Hey, beautiful.
Oh, hey, Steffa.
Hey, Diamond Eyes. How are you? There you go. And let's see here. Let's see. Oh, Frank. Hey, Frank. How are you, Frank?
Hey, Frank.
I remember sometimes Frank stuff pops up on my feed and something about the Colts and yeah, I know a lot about sports. I just don't.
Did they win today, Frank? I don't know if they played.
Yeah. Delphi True Squad. And let's see here. Okie dokie. You better have one in front of me because I'm feeling it tonight. I got a feeling that tonight. Yeah. We are all here for some sprinkle support with stuff that says, hey, where's my McDougal tree? Hey, I'm used to seeing my McDougal. Where are you? He's probably over watching Tom Webster right now. Oh, let me give a couple shout outs. Thank you.
Lisa's probably over there.
Yeah. Is that where Lisa's? Yeah. It's probably a few people over there. I want to give a shout out to Yorkie. Yorkie, thanks for the super thanks. If people don't know what a super thanks is, that's when people actually donate through watching there's that $sign on videos that it's called the super thanks. And don't forget, you guys, if anyone ever wants to donate, remember you guys can do that. Do a membership for somebody. That's always available on there. Miss Dog Lover. Whoa. Oh, that is so sweet.
That is so sweet.
I love you, Miss Dog Lover. Merry Christmas to all. Have a lovely Christmas with you and your family and friends. Thank you for everything you have done to raise awareness for all the victims and their family. Means a lot. Means a lot, Miss Dog Lover. Thank you again for being a supporter of this channel. For sure, absolutely. You know,
especially at 2:47 a.m. where she lives.
She's a diehard. She's so dedicated. You know, I get it. I seen her. I was in Steve True Crime Webs the other day for a few minutes and that. And I'm a little drunk. I wish I was a little drunk. I should be a little drunk. Ho, ho, ho. There we go. Thank you.
Miss Dog Lover Super Chat. 44 pounds and 99 pence. Thank you.
So
Merry
sweet.
Christmas to all.
Thank
Have
you.
a lovely Christmas with your family and friends. Thank you for everything you have done to raise awareness for all victims and their families. Heart, 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 heart.
Heart. Any more hearts? A few more.
She's aggressive when she says heart.
Thank you so much again, Miss Dog Lover. Thank you guys for the support. Yeah. Yeah, and if you guys see Streamlabs coming in, Streamlabs is just dropping links for me now instead of me having to really do it. You can buy a coffee if you want to support the channel, PayPal, whichever, if you decide to. If not, doesn't matter. Regardless, it's just a channel that's up, just trying to bring awareness to the missing and the murdered regardless.
Yeah.
Hey, Deb, how are you?
Hey, Deb.
Yeah, Deb loves Christmas. Deb loves Christmas.
Deb put another TikTok out today.
Did she put a TikTok out today? I don't know if I seen it. I don't think I seen it.
I have not watched it yet. I got the notification because I was at my parents' house, but I got the notification. It was like Deb put out Deb put out a TikTok. So
I was gonna say,
what it's about.
I probably was sleeping. I'm not gonna lie. I was pretty much sleeping up until about an hour ago. Yeah, should be sleeping. Yeah. Thank you so much. Hey, Sharon Parker, how are you? No, Lewis isn't coming on Diamond Eyes. Lewis, first of all, Sundays are his day off that he gets to literally try to get some sleep in, and it's his personal day off. And I mean, Yes, I know you guys see a lot of Lewis on the show and stuff like that. Lewis is always willing to, join him, but Sundays I just kind of leave him alone because that's a day that I know that he needs to try to get some rest, and usually he's always at work when he does join us and stuff like that. And Lewis is always great for advice, and great. He just someone that has a lot of knowledge, especially with Delphi case as well, and very I love it. Great guy.
Absolutely.
Great.
I was just talking to him on Messenger. So
Were you?
yeah, but you know what? But we get Callie, which that's wonderful.
But we get
Kelly
Callie.
unprepared. But hey,
I'll
where's
take
Alexa
a Callie.
been? I haven't seen a. Oh, thank you. Love you too. Where's Alexa been?
Alexa's been around, but I think like with everything, right?
Yeah.
Like Alexa, for instance, she was going to join us on the last time, but she wasn't feeling that well,
Aw.
and she has her kids and Christmas and so right. I mean,
Yeah.
if somebody has time to make it and they want to join and stuff like that, but like I said, so Alexa said, sorry, she was feeling kind of dizzy and wasn't feeling well. So I hope you're feeling better, Alexa. And yeah, and like I just know it's Christmas time and everyone's doing things, and
Yeah.
I mean, it's just one of those things. It is what it is.
I'm just feeling bad because we were supposed to all have that, meetup in Atlanta this weekend.
No.
I know. I would have met Adam in person and Steffa, Mr. Steve, Alexa.
To make myself feel better, I know we need to get into everything, but to make myself feel better, I went to a Christmas party last night, and I had about 5 or 6 too many Christmas cocktails. And I sent Sonny a picture of me wearing like a Christmas
there's the little tiny hat
at like 2 a.m.
Oh, can you share that? Do you mind sharing that, please?
Oh, I don't think so.
It's rather cute. Let's see.
Yeah, I've been feeling it with my indigestion all day though. I'm like, I'm too old for that.
How about
I don't indulge like that very often.
How about some Fireball, Adam?
Oh no, thanks. It was like a whipped vodka with like it was like cranberry and like it was good, but it was like one of the.
Look at him.
Yeah, there's Adam with his hat on right there.
Awesome.
His little Christmas hat. I don't have it on Zoom. It's just off of the Facebook there. But yes. Well, see, okay. Well, Farhan, before we forget, I also wanted to thank JD Barama as well for the tip that you had sent in, the coffee. Thank you so much as well. So I just want to give those shout outs because sometimes they're done through when we're not on a live and stuff like that. So to make sure that those people are thanked very much as well. And so yeah, like so I'm curious, like Chaotic was supposed to have one on the 17th.
Yeah. I talked to her today for a little bit. She had a Christmas party last night, but I think they decided not to put it on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay. No big deal. Because I was just like, okay, like I thought it was going to be like a bunch of us that were going to go on or whatever. That's what I didn't know. That's how I had it in my head. But yeah, it was supposed to be a tour or something like that. But either way, Merry Christmas. Chaotic has a beautiful house, does a wonderful job of her Christmas and Halloween and stuff like that.
And talk about a guest list. I mean, I think, I know for her Halloween party, I can't say for the Christmas, but I mean, Mel from Cold Truth. You've got Hoosier Cold Case, the Captain Howdy, and, like it's a creme de la creme. So I was like, it's a party I want to be invited to. Well, I was, but I couldn't go.
Yeah, Adam was having.
We both were.
Okay. Okay, so Callie, let's see. How's your Christmas coming along before we get fully into this here? How's your Christmas coming along?
I mean, we kicked it off going to Gatlinburg for about 8 days. and had a blast. Came back, did 2 weeks of work, traveled for I think most of that, and then for work. And now I'm off. And so I'm enjoying it a lot, just trying to get some packages together to get out.
Yeah.
And I bought I bought a lot of food for the holidays to prepare. When I'm not working, I like to cook a lot more. I mean, I usually do anyway, but it's kind of fun to make quiche and different things that my family likes. So,
And Kelly, you have Sunny and my address?
yeah. Adam, did you ever get my PayPal I sent you
When?
a couple weeks ago?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
I did. Thank you so much.
I just was kind of worried because I didn't have my password information. I know Sunny did. We had some tricky stuff with that one. But anyway, I've been meaning to ask you and I keep forgetting. But anyway, good. Everything's been pretty easy this year. My son, he's 18. He wants cash. That's easy,
I know. Yeah, right.
And then I ordered something off the merch site for him that he doesn't know about.
Your real name always throws me off.
Yeah, I know.
I was like,
yeah,
I know.
Thank you.
Hey, did you
You're
get
welcome.
did you get that? Did you get his present? Like I know that you had ordered it because I made it especially for him, for you. Did you receive it?
I did receive it. I actually got it quicker than the blanket, and I haven't opened it yet though because I don't want him to find it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of in the packaging, stuffed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll have a few things for him to open, of course. But at his age, he just wants to buy stuff for his gaming.
Yeah, I know, right? 69 people watching, by the way.
So, Sunny, Elizabeth wants to know how your sister is. Tomorrow, right?
My sister, she's still in a lot of pain and stuff like that. So, so she'll probably have to have like the surgery.
Right. Where they blast them.
Oh no.
Yeah. I've heard very much that kidney stones are very painful, and she just says that she just feels constantly nauseated and sick, and I get it. Getting older is no fun, people. It's just not. There's nothing.
I've heard though that once they blast them, that that feeling of relief when you pass them is incredible.
Yeah.
So if they do that, I think that's what the surgery is, right? Where they laser and they break them up.
Yeah, so that they can pass, right? Because they said something like a 6 millimeter one. Like typically you can't pass that on your own. So.
Never want one.
I'm gonna knock.
Guess she's not going to Vegas then, right?
Well, as far as I know, she's not.
Yeah.
Probably not. Probably the kids are gonna go, and like my niece, my twin has 4 children, and one of them does work for the airlines, and so the whole plan is that they would fly. They had to stop over in Calgary, and then Haley would get on, the plane there, the one that works at the airport, and then they would head to Vegas. But now it looks like the kids will go. And when I say that the kids are like, my niece is like 16 and 14. Is that what their ages are? Or did she just turn 17? Her birthday was in November. Is that 16 or 17? Probably 17.
Sunny, is that the sister is that your niece? Is she the mom of your niece that struggles?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Paige is the oldest. She's 32. Haley is my son's age, basically.
She's the gorgeous redhead.
She's the redhead. Yeah, she's the redhead. I was just talking to her the other day. And then there's Jevin and Shay. So in the order, it's Paige, Haley, Shay, Jevin being the boy. So yes, my sister has 4. So Haley is 25. My son will turn 26 January 4th, and then Haley 6 months later turns that 26 herself. So looks like she'll be maybe taking them to Vegas instead, because basically, during the C word, and then there was tickets and stuff like that. So basically those tickets had to get used up. So they were doing a trip for Christmas to Vegas. And then of course, you know how it goes when you plan something, then something happens, right? Um, yeah. What did you say, Ray? To hear Sunny talk, I thought she was getting the stick removed. Wait, what?
Yeah, what?
Oh,
What?
Ray's on a roll tonight.
Is he
Yeah.
on a roll tonight? Does the sister drink much? No, she doesn't drink at all. Well, she drinks water. Yeah, yeah, she does
Yeah,
drink
Deb,
water.
that's the only way I can drink water is with the lemon essential oil
Oh,
and peppermint. I'll do one or the other. I can't
yeah,
stand this water, but lemon oil or peppermint oil are great things. Hey,
yeah.
Brandon.
I mean, I'll let her know that. I personally didn't know that with a drop of lemon essential oil, stuff like that. I just said to her when she said she was feeling nauseous, I'm like, two things. Did you take any gravel and did you eat crackers? those are my those are my things when I'm feeling nauseous. Okay. Um, okay. Does your sister? I'm not sure honestly, Starla, if she does or not. She always. I mean, she's always worked up a lot of the time, so she probably does have high blood pressure. To be honest with you. um, okay. But anyways, thank you guys for, like I said, caring to ask and stuff like that. It means a lot. Um, yeah, Cali peppermint essential and water is great for. Oh, is it now? I'll remember that because
It's
I
good
said,
for any, yeah, good breath, digestion, getting you more alert.
yeah.
I love essential oils. I'm not joking. I probably have 200 bottles in my house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I have a lot.
Oh, the citric acid, gotcha as well. Okay, yeah. Okay, so moving on, you guys, let's talk about a little bit. We're going to talk about a couple things here. We're going to talk about uh, the DCs. I'm not going to stay too long on those. And you know what? I'll just hit share screen for those. And we're going to talk about another case that Adam had brought up the other day with regards to a little girl that was has been missing and missing since
Right.
November. Um,
Yeah. And if anyone could share, if anyone could share her story to your social media, her case is not getting. I kind of thought it would hit the national attention, and it hasn't. And I mean,
yeah,
this little girl is whatever happened to her, she did not deserve. And I mean, I mean, an incredibly gorgeous little girl, and I just, I don't have high hopes, but I pray so hard for her, and I just want to see her get the attention that I feel like she deserves. And
yeah,
you know, she is, she's not blonde hair and blue eyed, and I know that that's harder sometimes to get out into the media. But if anyone could share her story, I would really appreciate it.
hmm and we'll show that one in just a moment here as well. Okay, so as for as for the DCs here, again, I there was just too many things here to me that were absolutely just wrong looking at it. I was actually embarrassed just even looking at these, to be honest with you. Um, marital status, married but
Right.
separated. Um, Anna Williams in box 23 there. Um, you
Right.
know, death by, I'm just going to use the word S for sewer. You guys can finish off that word there. Again, I don't even really like to. I'm
Where does
almost,
it say that? Where does I didn't see the death by thing.
yeah, right here. Right here. Manner
Oh
of
yeah,
death. Yeah.
because this Tom Webster was actually talking about this like last night on his show as well, and I was
What?
like, oh, that's fake. That's got to
Whoops,
be
sorry.
fake.
Whoops, sorry. Um,
I was
yeah.
willing to like look over the like married but separated thing because you know we also saw in the Richard Allen affidavit that one of the witness statements was February 13th, 2022 in the affidavit.
Right.
So but like that like the suicide thing, I was like, oh sorry, S word.
Yeah. So I just went straight to the source, and I was told no, that's not what they issue, and it's got a seal, and So I'm just gonna deem these exactly what the family member says, that they're fake, and that's why hence I put out another video after that. I was opting, do I want to take the other video down? And I still probably might, just because I don't want to sit there and
Right.
promote um, uh, fake news. So someone said clickbait, and I'm like, don't even post on the channel again if that's whatever you're going to say to this channel.
Right.
It literally said, whatever it said, Delphi, whatever, fake or real or whatever, fake, question mark, question mark, question mark. Even if somebody listened to the video, it clearly said that, you guys
Yeah.
can go to the Reddit yourself to determine whatever I think that they're fake. And
Well,
thank you
and
for
to find out that these came, from what I was told, they came from Ancestry, which,
Yeah.
I think anyone can upload something onto Ancestry if they want. So
Yeah, I've never.
why
heard
that would be an
stuff like
official?
that. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Callie.
I agree with you. I've never heard of a death certificate or anything like that coming off of, officially coming off of like Ancestry.
I've seen them on Ancestry sites before, but
Yeah,
I think they're still uploaded from users, which means
that's what I
it
meant.
doesn't
Yeah,
have to be accurate for someone to upload it.
that's what I meant, because that's something that you wouldn't get off there that's accurate unless somebody in your family posted it about your death and they wanted everybody else in your family to see it. But just because this is high profile and it came off there, yeah, I don't believe it.
And how sad. I'm not going to say that someone did this maliciously, but
Of course they did.
How sad that someone would take the time to do something like that, upload it to an Ancestry that connects to those girls after everything those families have gone through, to add another layer of annoyance that they have to deal with.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I just
the S word on there. That's what I'm like. That's just callous.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. It's no different than that Joseph Morris, to me, disgusting that you have to do stuff like that, or like to just take people's deaths and then treat them like just make a mockery of it and stuff like that. It's just there's really sick and twisted people out there, and those people can go rot in the H word for all I care. Could care less about those people. And it's just disgusting and despicable. They're trying to, like, on Reddit, talk about how the Flora one, they did the same thing and stuff like that, or again,
Did they?
We're talking Reddit, Shreddit, whatever too. So, everyone's just do your own searching and your information. I just went right to the source, just asked. Thank you. So thank you for clearing that up for me. And that's all I actually really want to talk about that, besides the fact that you do come across them, like I said, just know that they're not real. They're just too embarrassing to even look at, to be honest.
Has anyone in chat not seen what we're referring to? Like, and not seen, that these alleged death certificates of the girls came out? Does anyone have any questions about them that they question? Do you think they might be true, and you want us to address anything, or?
Well, if Becky says that they're not true.
Oh no, of course. But if there's any detail in them that anyone wants us to address, them, or just if they're unaware of them.
Yeah, well, if you are aware of them, don't be aware of them, because they're just useless internet paper, is what they are. Yeah. Again, besides saying that, I'd like to honestly move on. Just even looking at those, I'm just embarrassed to even actually look at those.
It is, yeah. It's like the Daily Mail article. I know that we got cut off the other night when we were talking about that, once the guest that we thought wasn't coming joined us. And, we didn't really get a chance to really dive into the content of that Daily Mail article and how it was completely pieced together from internet rumors with no validity put to any of it. And so if anyone's out there still like believing the validity of that Daily Mail article that basically linked, and I'm not saying there's not a link, but if that article alluded that the link between Richard Allen, Keegan Kline, and Ron Logan was legitimate and that it was a pedo ring.
Yeah.
Nothing that article, the only thing I would say might possibly hold an ounce of truth in that article was the cat thing. And that's not confirmed either. It's just speculation. But if you were to ask me if any of that was true, it would be that part.
But I'm pretty sure that when a cat, sorry, cover your ears for a minute, but I think when a cat has been in the ground for a while, the hair's gone. So several years later, the hair's not going to be in there, as far as I know.
The hair is actually one of the last things to actually be there.
Yeah, but it's like several months or a year or something like that, isn't it? And I don't think 4 or 5 years later, or 6 now, almost 6 now, the hair would be there. But I'm not positive, but I did look into that, and that's what I found out. But
I know that I had a cat for 21 years that I got when I was 18, and she passed away during the C word in 2020 when she was 21. And I didn't realize it, but they gave me some clippings of her fur, and they're still just fine. They look just like they did the day that they gave them to me.
I don't know if it's like in the, with the oils from everything else, that's decomposition, but I was asking this question, and somebody that seemed like they had information about that said it's no longer than a year when it's combined in the decomposition.
It could be that absolutely could be.
But who knows? And so maybe they did find some hair if they dug it up,
or DNA from the hair.
Yeah, I'd be happy.
DNA from the strand, even if it's minuscule.
I hope they have anything from Abby and Libby. If he truly did this, which I feel like he did, but if he did this, then I really pray that when they did the search, they did get anything more than bullet information.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I would like to know what they got off of that stuff they took from the house and the car.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hopefully soon in the near future, we'll get to learn that, see what all evolves with that. Talking about that, Adam, has there been any new information with regards to anything or?
No, sadly, the person was talking to, is of course prohibited because of the gag order, and I doubt they're gonna reach out to me and tell me something when I'm on a YouTube channel.
Yeah,
they could, especially with the information that that I had about the affidavit before it was released. That circle was pretty small to begin with.
Right,
so
right.
I doubt that person wants to jump out there and put information out there that's going to end up on a YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
They could lead back to them.
Right. Okay.
And I'm not pressed either because out of respect for the gag order, I would want nothing to jeopardize this case. And I wouldn't want to put out information that I could just be like, oh, this is what I was told, and then it do something harmful to the case. I would never want to do that. I know none of us would.
Yeah. At the end of the day, honestly, it's just about Abby and Libby and justice for Abby and Libby. And that's all we want from this. And yeah, that's it. Abby and Libby justice. They deserve it. So do so many other people. So let's go into the next segue here. It wasn't a big conversation, Ivy, to be honest with you. It's just that those death certificates that are out there are false. That's at least confirmed by a family member. And so really that's the end of it. Whoever does stuff like that should be ashamed of themselves. Yeah. Actually go bury yourself in a hole 6 feet deep, to be honest yourself, for stuff like that. It just the world doesn't cease to amaze you, but then there's always the good people out there that do try to bring proper awareness, bringing the people out there that like to joke around or make a mockery of cases instead of being helpful to their lifetime. And that's a karma that they have to live with. And that's theirs to own. So 24, wow. Oh, when you say Pet Cemetery, I remember that movie like the back of my hand. I scared the crap out of me. That's for sure. So, is the gag order the reason that silly stuff is coming out? Semi-reputable sources, like Scott, but I can't believe he covered it. Well, the thing is, I mean, at the end of the day, the gag order is not against the media or the internet. The gag order is about family members and how would you explain it? Family members, close friends, officers, police officers, anybody that's, you know, um, within the case. Um, so, so for Scott Reach to cover it, absolutely no reason why. Channels can cover it all that they want, and they can talk about whatever they want. There's no gag order there, because I had some dits actually put something like that on a post, and I ended up just blocking her. I'm like, I just can't fix that type of stupid. Why don't you go read the gag order, who it applies to? It doesn't apply to the internet. They're talking about family members talking about it, or people within, like I said, the lawyers, LE officers and stuff like that. The case can still be talked about by media and stuff like that, but just, those people, like the gag order says, not to talk about it. And so it has nothing to do with internet, or the different channels. I just myself, I have my thing is personally with this, and I know Adam feels the same way. How many times can we regurgitate things? It gets very boring and old to me. How much, I mean, like yesterday, I spent the night reading, the Ron Logan affidavit or search warrant again, just kind of going back to look at things, what was said and stuff like that. Do I actually feel like talking about the Ron Logan affidavit? Right? No, it's been talked about multiple times and stuff like that. There's not a lot going on with Delphi right now. It's just everyone has seen the affidavit and everyone can have their thoughts. And, something perks up that says, hey, we want to talk about something, because maybe it was something that, was said previously that you can kind of attach to, or kind of like what Tom Webster did here. Let me just lay out this timeline. Let me, pose some questions and stuff like that. Whoops.
Well, tonight the search continues for 11-year-old Madalena Kojikari of Cornelius. She's been missing for weeks now. Today, Cornelius police arrested Kojikari's stepfather and mother. They say the two failed to report her disappearance to law enforcement. WCNC Charlotte's Austin Walker joining us in studio, breaking down what we know so far and what experts have to say.
The FBI is involved in this investigation now. We spoke to a former agent who says the timeline of events is the most perplexing thing about this case. Now, first, she was reported missing on December 15th, but police say she was last seen on November 23rd right here. And normally, when a child is missing from school for even a day, a note is emailed home. So the question tonight, did the parents know she was missing before reporting it?
It's a nice neighborhood. I never would have thought that.
People would describe this Cornelius neighborhood as a quiet one until recently.
Yesterday, there was all the commotion we had. There must have been, 40, people out there.
Friday night, police searching for 11-year-old Madalena Kojikari and investigating her home for evidence. Early Saturday morning, Cornelius police arresting Christopher Palmer, her stepfather, for failure to report the disappearance of a child to law enforcement. Just hours later at 10:15 a.m., her mother, Diana Kojikari, also taken into custody.
It's very concerning that something like this could happen, that it was so close to us.
Neighbors puzzled by the news, some telling us the family kept to themselves.
Well, I would assume that they are suspects.
Quentin Williams, former FBI agent and investigator, says the timeline of events isn't adding up. Madalena was last seen on November 23rd. but weeks later was reported missing to the school on December 15th, 22 days later.
You would assume that the district would ask after a few days, because they send notes home. And now in the digital age, we all get emails when our kids are out of school for one day. So the parents knew immediately that the child was not in school,
leading him to believe the reason for both arrests on Saturday.
They didn't report it.
We spoke to a dozen neighbors who tell WCNC Charlotte they noticed burning in their backyard at all hours starting on November 27th, including Saturday morning, just hours before her mother was taken into custody. Today, neighbors still left heartbroken by the news.
I hope that, she's run away or something and comes back.
And questions start having answers.
All you can do is hope and pray.
We reached out to Cornelius Police Department to see what that next step is for the investigation, given it's still ongoing, but they did not return any of our emails or phone calls as well. Now, if you know anything that could lead to an arrest, you're encouraged to call Cornelius Police Department or authorities. Jane?
Drivers through one Charlotte neighborhood now making.
So how heartbreaking is that? Come on.
Yeah.
It's like he's Anthony all over again. Where was your kid for the last 30 days?
Right.
I've been digging into this a little bit. Being local, there's definitely, nothing is confirmed. It's very speculative, but there's definitely a lot of rumors going around. And the most credible information that I've found, it's again speculative, but I was told that I don't know the family. I know the neighborhood she lives in. I almost drove through it today. Actually, I drove right past it, and I meant to go in it and go by the house. But there's rumors that the parents were seen by neighbors digging in the backyard recently, which is sad, and then two, though, makes me think that shouldn't be a very difficult thing for investigators to look into and uncover if that's the case.
Yeah.
But then the other thing is that she went she was last reported on the 23rd of November. And that was the week of Thanksgiving. So that school, Bailey Middle School, is where she went to school. They were out of school the week for Thanksgiving. The rumor I was told is that the family said they were on vacation the following week. And so once it got to be the first week of December, the school themselves, there's different protocol, and I have it written down somewhere in place for how public schools in the state handle absences, and that within that first week they were already reaching out, being like, "Where is she?" And the news has reported that the parents reported her missing on the 15th of December to a school resource officer. And my understanding is that what really happened was that the school continued to reach out to the family asking about her absence in school. And that once confronted, they told a school resource officer finally, "Oh, we actually haven't seen her since the 23rd of November. And then the school resource officer or the school themselves reached out to the Cornelius, North Carolina Police Department themselves. So it wasn't even the parents that actually, contacted the police outside of the school resource officer, which was only done upon pressure. And there's some speculation that, and this could be completely a generalization because of their ethnicity. But, I've been told some speculation that, there might be potential like documentation aspects in their family, and that could have led to some of the hesitancy to go to law enforcement. But again, I have no idea, and neither should that be an excuse, even if it were to be the case. So I'm praying for this little girl, but it makes me sad, and I'm hoping.
That there's nothing good going to come out of this.
Right.
There's nothing.
And anyone that wants me to send them the missing poster or information about this little girl, just put out on your social media. email me, and I will be happy to give you the missing poster. I'm sure we can. We put it on our Facebook page. I'm sure we could also put it on the community page or whatever.
Yeah, we'll put it on the community page, and you know.
And you can Google it.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say about these parents of these people. It is like, you know, when you have children and you good over there?
Yeah, that was my cat.
Oh, okay. Hey, Beatrice. It, like, honestly, I don't even know what to say. It's just the most disgusting thing that children are brought into this world, and they're supposed to be loved. They're like gifts, and just the fact that anyone can harm a child, and the cases like that. What's her name? Casey or whatever, and
Kaylee,
you know, yeah, that's it. And it's just so disgusting. Like even Quentin as well. It doesn't matter what child it is, you know. It's just the fact that parents or whatever could do this to their own children or stuff them in suitcases and stuff like that. It's beyond anything imaginable, to be honest. What does Ms. Depp say? I can also attest to the fact that the C word 19 made attendance reporting to CPS difficult. It used to be a strict 10 days, but there was no way to follow up with the virtual thing.
Right.
Well, I'll make a comment about that because my son's in virtual school, and he has been actually before COVID. And they
just say the C word, please.
What's that?
Just say the C word.
Did I say it?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I didn't even realize I said it. Anyway, before that happened, he was in virtual school just before that happened. And they literally go by the IP address of his computer, that if he's not even like logged into a class by, 2 hours after school starts, I get text, emails, all this. So they're more strict on the virtual side now with attendance than they were even physically, in my opinion, because they literally can track it so much easier. Now, I don't know that all schools have
and I can say this is an elementary school, and she and their policy, they don't have remote learning right now. I mean, I'm sure there are exemplary cases where they allow it, but they have a policy where if the student is missing after one day, they send out an email. And then every day afterwards, they continue to send out an email, but it does not take 10 days for them to really raise red flags, because this child was not enrolled in any remote schooling at all. And so the fact that they'd already said she was out for a week for vacation, and then just I think my understanding is they potentially were pretty much just ignoring the school reaching out to them about her absences after that, which is what really started to raise the red flags. Yeah, it's a good school. It is. And it's also in a district that has money, so it helps, sadly.
Somebody was asking about the documentary. I did watch it. Did you guys watch it?
No.
I watched
it, and then
I couldn't make it through the rest.
What, Adam? Sorry.
I watched half of it. I couldn't watch her anymore.
I can't stand her.
Off after halfway through.
It was hard. I just wanted to kind of see how I felt about it all, but I don't really feel any differently than I did before watching it. She's still got the same character that she's always had. So
yeah, I feel like if anything, she's just got better at compartmentalizing her behavior and emotions over the situation. But thank God she hasn't had any more children.
I know, right? I really thought she would. In this life, Yeah.
There's certain cases I just can't even be asked to talk about or even cover, and I cannot stand looking at Casey Anthony's face, let alone her voice. Just same thing with Chris Watts, same thing. too disgusting and despicable. Like, it's the
Anyone that does that to their own child, of course, right, Sonny?
I agree. I agree.
mean, I can't even touch the Lori Vallow case because it's got the whole like zombie element, but
I followed it for a while, and then it got too crazy, and I was like, yeah, I can't get into this whole
I'll watch the court. I will watch her court case.
Nightmare. Yeah, it's just.
You know, Callie, you're not far from me though. So I mean, where you live, have you heard about this little girl? Because I mean, I know in Charlotte we're getting the news reports about it, but I didn't know how far outside of Charlotte it's going.
I don't actually watch the news, so I don't know. But I do know that I got something on Twitter that the parents had got arrested. So I was happy to see that.
And do you know where that town is?
Yeah, tell me again.
It's Cornelius, North Carolina. So it's on Lake Norman, which I know.
That is a good area. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Cordy, who comes in here often, sometimes she's been to Lake Norman as well, or he has been to Lake Norman as well. So it's right outside of Charlotte. I mean, it would be like, I mean, way closer than like Delphi to Indianapolis. It's
right. Yeah, I like going to Morrisville. Is that what it's called up there, Morrisville?
That's where my parents live. Yeah.
I love that town, and I just don't remember. Yeah, now it's making sense, but I know that's a really affluent area.
Yeah,
it's just crazy to me that these parents. I'm a parent, you know. Like, I think most people here know I didn't give birth to my child, but I raised him since he was an infant from a family member, and the love is no different, you know.
Yeah.
I would have never hurt him, and I would be terrified. I mean, I remember him getting away from me one time in a Cato store. Well, actually, he was with my mom in the same store. We were all three in there. He got away from her for, a minute, and I was just wrecked. But he was hiding.
Yeah.
And he got in big trouble. I actually took him to the police. He was 5. I wanted them to scare him, but they said, no, we can't mess around. Oh no! I was going to do it, take him to a police station so he could understand that that's not, good. But I ran into a policeman at our local gas station on the way home, and I told the policeman, I said, maybe you should tell him that's not right. And they said, we never want a child to be afraid to come to the police, so we will not scare them. I said, okay, that makes sense. He said, but he did talk to him, and he's like, you should never ever scare your mom ever. That's not good. All she wants to do is love you and provide for you and take care of you. And when you play a little game like that, it's really heartbreaking to her. He never did it again.
Good.
But yeah, I was terrified. I mean, literally, it was like 2 minutes and I was terrified. So, the love is the love. I just don't understand where that disconnect is in these parents. And like, I just can't. Or anyone that hurts a child, whether it's a parent or not.
I don't know if anyone knows, but I mean, I'm not saying anything about age difference, but this, the stepfather that was arrested for this little girl not reporting her disappearance, I believe he's like 60, and the mom was in her 20s. So to me, that already was a little, like when you look at their pictures, it's like,
Actually, he reminded me of an actor. Couldn't place it, but I was going, oh dude, you look like that actor. It just kept in the heebie-jeebies every time I see his picture come up in there, because he just reminds me of an actor. And which reminds me, just quickly, rest in peace. Can't think of his name now. All of a sudden, they got Twitch, the one that took his
from
own
life. Twitch, Steven.
Prayers to that family as well. It's one of those things, what you see on the outside lots of times and what is happening on the inside. Or we can just take Robin Williams for an example of that. Someone that it's usually the people out there that pretend that they're the happiest are the people that struggle with a lot of internal issues. And I'll probably agree to that, to be honest with you. Lots of times people don't want you to see what pain's going on inside of them and stuff like that. I guess, it's just very sad all around, for families, for the children, for everybody, to be honest with you. But
and this time of year is hard for a lot of people. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I will say I might not be any help, but if anyone ever needs anyone to talk to, or if anyone ever needs someone just to listen or whatever, or vent, or I mean, you can scream at me, yell at me, make me laugh. I'll make you laugh. Whatever you need, I'm happy to be there for you. If there's no one else,
Yeah.
That's
so
sweet.
reach out to me. I know Sunny is the same way. Granted, she's
No.
a bigger path than I, so she would probably take it on her heart even harder than I would.
Yeah. I just I mean, everyone struggles with different things, and nobody, I don't think, is guilty of not struggling with certain things. And sometimes it's, I mean, I've had my lows and, and stuff like that. And I'm not really one of those people, like, before even this whole internet. I don't really ever tell people my issues and my problems and stuff like that. It was just not my way. It's not the way I was really raised and stuff. But, I do come to realize as you get older that it is really nice to have ears. And, and Callie and I have talked a little bit, and stuff like that. But it's like one of those things is that I always feel like I never want to burden anyone with my problems, but yet I'll take on somebody's problems, no problem. Um, and that's just always where I've been. But being a channel on the internet and trying to help with the missing and the murdered, um, but it also has made me open up to a lot of my own stuff, and including like the paper bag rapist within our family and stuff like that, and why my fear for children, because how easily people can get manipulated and just not aware and stuff like that. So in saying that, it caused me a lot of issues when I did have my son, because I was always panicked. So when Callie sits there and says that, about her son, it reminds me of how I felt when Haley and Matthew did the same thing. They were hopping out of the stroller, and Haley was the redhead, little devil, that child. Love her to pieces, but oh my lord, she was a nightmare. But yeah, and all of a sudden they just hopped around, and you turn your back for 1 second, and they went and hid in the clothes rack, of circles.
That's what
And
he did.
and it's just something like that, and your heart just races around, and then you hear giggling coming from there, and they don't realize, just the anxiety for that, that 30 seconds or whatever, that they just made my heart like panic so badly. And it's because of things that, like I said, the paper bag rapist incident and stuff like that, that, just so easily kids can be taken. And yeah, so like I said, you typically would never hear me too much ever in my life talk about my own personal stuff, because like I said, I've always liked to help other people, and I still will always remain that way. I've just balanced it out though more, where there's people that actually truly want help, or needs an ear to listen to, and then there's people out there that you know that they don't get my time anymore, because it would be like beating a dead horse. So I know the difference now as you get older. But so same thing though. Everyone knows the email for. I should put the banner up sometimes, because it is really heartbreaking and nice though when people email and then they say things like, like, I come to your channel, thank you for being, a strength, thank you for helping me be stronger, or giving a voice, or the same thing to my son, where I had to basically tell my son, stop using me. I'm sick and tired of every time that you want to talk to me, you just ask me for money. I'm not this piece of garbage that you can just, think because of the divorce that you can basically abandon your mom and then treat me like crap, while the person that did abuse you was your father, and you can sit there and give him and still live with him, and then sit there and take away from the one person that was there for you. Right? I'm not going to be trampled on. I have my limits and my boundaries, and when you cross those, including my son, sorry, dude, When you want to treat me with respect and quit asking me for money every time you open up your mouth, then come talk to me. But I refuse to be told that, I wish that you were dead, that you're not this, when I was that complete source of love, caring, and compassion, and a voice. Let him be a voice. But I refuse to get treated like I'm a piece of dirt when I'm not.
Good for you. You got to
Yeah,
stand up for yourself.
And so yeah, so when people have to reach that sometimes with their own children, I mean, like I said, I don't want it to be that way, but until he grows up and understands respect and the fact that I was there for him, I wasn't ever, you know like I said, a lot of people would love for me to be their mother, and there's lots of children out there and stuff like that that deserve that. And then so when I hear these cases, it's just it's just like, what do you even say? Like, how dare you? How could you even treat your own flesh? Like, how could you do such horrific things to these children? Like, it's heartbreaking. And yet you see these stories pop up all the time. And it's just so sad. It's disgusting, sad, it's heartbreaking, especially when there's good homes out there that would love these children so much and give them everything that they need for a balanced life and care and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking. Aspen, you're kind with a great heart. So sometimes. Who was that on Twitch?
Yeah, I don't watch Twitch. I don't know who that is.
Well, it's not that it's Adam can hear you. We can't hear you.
I did say, except for Ray Jones. Ray
Yeah.
Jones, suck
Ray
it up.
Jones-
Buttercup.
Yeah, Rachel, I'm sorry, dude. There's no help. There's no help for you out there. Maybe Aaron Town.
Yeah, no, I'm
maybe.
kidding. I'm kidding. No, Twitch was I think Twitch came from a reality show originally, and then he was Ellen's.
He was on Ellen.
He was her DJ, and
Yeah.
and he was like this gorgeous black man that like danced and like he ran her show. It was kind of her sidekick, and they were very close. And he had like one of those infectious smiles that just made you want to laugh and feel happy when you saw him, because he was so full of exuberance and life that to find out that he, for whatever reason, decided to do what he did, just went to show that, you never know what's really happening within someone.
That's sad.
Behind the scenes. And if anyone's ever watched the Ellen show, you would know who he is. He was the guy at the DJ booth.
Okay.
So, and he and his wife, they were a beautiful couple. They had 3 or 4 young, gorgeous little children.
Oh,
Just everything in the world to live for.
that's horrible.
Absolutely. So You Think You Can Dance? Isn't there a show?
Yes, it was. He was a runner-up, and So You Think You Can Dance.
Yeah,
That's where he came from.
Yeah. Thanks, Krista. Yeah, that was just recently. That was just the other day. If that's what you're talking about.
No, that was the reality show that he came from originally before Ellen found him. He was a runner-up on that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know. I was watching it last night. I was watching, a bunch of different things, and it was so sad because they were showing a part where he was dancing with his son on the Ellen show, and I think it was for Father's Day actually, and he said something like, Ellen should be here, it should be my day off, and the whole time you're watching it, you're just like,
right. And we're not talking about the application Twitch. We're talking about he was his nickname was Twitch. His name was Steven Twitch is what he went by, and he was. I know it's confusing because of the application Twitch that people use, but no, this was a Ellen sidekick basically.
It's when he danced, he was one of those ones that when they're sitting there,
so sexy.
Yeah, they said I love watching those type of dancers when you're just watching them and they're going slow motion and it's just so slick and smooth, and so I think that's where he got probably the name Twitch from, was when they vibrate their bodies and Yeah. Did your
Yeah.
wife Dancing on the Stars or something? Yeah, like they were both dancers.
He did do Dancing with the Stars as well.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, just
Yeah.
at the end of the day, very heartbreaking. Yeah, had a dance studio.
But you see that even like Robin Williams, like infectious, like full of life. I knew that he struggled because he's actually one of my role models, and he struggled with depression. I knew from it like his whole life, but to watch Robin Williams, he was just so over the top and full of energy and energetic and like the epitome of like what you think like a full life would be. And you know, sometimes they're the most tormented people.
My
Anthony Bourdain is another one.
Now just quickly, my husband brought me my dinner, which is we always call it spaghetti and meatballs here, but he calls it bolognese.
Bolognese.
Bolognese. And I'm just like, I remember saying to him, "What's bolognese?" And he's like, "Spaghetti and meatballs." You guys call it, you guys mess up the language. He always says, Miss Depp says, "Sonny, my friend from Canada was obsessed with ketchup chips. I hate condiments in general, so I hated them. But she would stock up because they don't sell them here. Are you a fan? I love ketchup chips."
Mrs. Depp, I had them in Portugal, and I'm dying to have another bag.
If you guys haven't had ketchup chips, you guys should. Ketchup chips are really good. Actually, they're one of my favorite chips to have. So I have them more of a treat now and again. My go-to is typically I like Tostitos and salsa and salt and vinegar and ketchup are kind of like my top things that I have when it comes to chips.
I want imported ketchup chips now.
Yeah.
And they're no different than if you've ever taken regular chips and dipped them in ketchup.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly what they taste like.
Yeah. I mean, I like ketchup. I mean, I like dill pickles, but I don't like dill pickle chips. But ketchup chips, since I was a kid, my mom had given us those, right? It was Old Dutch at the time. Old Dutch was the most popular brand back in the day. Now it becomes more like Lay's. It seems to be the more popular brand to have. But yeah, the happiest.
How are the Pringles?
Oh, Pringles?
Because they have Pringles ketchup chips as well. I saw them on Amazon.
I'm not a Pringle fan. Pringles has a distinct. For me, Pringles, and I'm sorry, Pringles, I'll probably never be an ad for your company. Pringles to me has, I want to call it an older taste. I don't know how to explain it. Besides, it's not a very friendly to my mouth type of tongue taste. Every time I have them, I feel like I'm having like, I don't even know how to explain it. I just don't like Pringles. Like I have Pringles, but that's only because when they're the last thing that's around to eat. But not because I actually like Pringles. I'm not a big Pringles fan. The taste just isn't the same. The taste is very boring to me in Pringles. It's like having
the old whatever you said, Old Dutch. Those are the ones that looked like, because the only brand I saw in Portugal was Ruffles, which you said are not the best. But
Ruffles are okay.
The Old Dutch are the ones that I think looked the most like them, but. Like on Amazon, just the regular Lay's ones are the most like cost effective to order. So I thought about ordering.
Lay's always comes up with these crazy flavors. Like the most recent one I got my son because he loves trying them is hot dog flavored chips. To me, it's like just get me some melted chocolate, dip the chip in the chocolate. We're good. We don't need all the flavors. We just need the chocolate, right, ladies? Sweet and salty.
Right. I'm all about that.
Hormones.
It's Sonny's fault.
My husband, I've ordered him some things from the UK before for his birthday and stuff like that. They have some crazy named chips.
Yeah.
They look like little monsters or something on these bags, and they're like, I'm like, it's almost like walking into cartoon land, looking at these bags of chips that are from there. And honestly, there's some really good ones because I remember it was just like a plethora of different flavors, and I'm like, I've never heard of this. And I remember when the box came in, and he likes this orange drink. I can't even think of that name right now, to be honest. But yeah, it's like looking at the bags, and they look like so cartoonish, and and yet, I don't know, they have different names to them. A lot of them were pretty good. There was some there that I was like, ooh, those are good.
Mrs. Wick is a brand in England I like, or the UK. Miss Wicks.
Fritos. I like hoops, barbecue hoops.
I never heard of that.
Hoops? I like corn chips, but they're the barbecue hoops, Fritos.
In Ireland, I found a brand of chips that they're sweet chili Thai, and they're so good.
Ooh. Somebody here does that, Adam. I want to say Doritos might have
But they do, but these are like they're like potato chips instead of like corn chips. So it's like there's something like it's like easier to just shove them in your mouth.
I think
they're not as powdery. They don't have that like powder Dorito coating on them.
You guys talk for a second. I'll be back.
Yeah, my son gets the Munchie box. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
You get like the Munchie. Yeah, so he gets every month a box delivered, and it's got like all different kinds of chips and chocolates from all over the world. I'm pretty sure that he's gotten something like that in his box, but I normally don't see it. I'm working or something, and it'll get delivered, and I get home, it's already gone.
They're gone.
Yeah.
No, someone sent me, a viewer just sent me this week a box of goodies and snacks from around the world.
Oh, yeah, I heard you say that.
Yeah, but I'm excited.
But yeah, I was telling Ivy that it's really actually at Christmas time, if you do any kind of baking for your neighbors. I know Lewis has asked us to post recipes. I might put this on there, but the best, easiest, nice, like a fun thing is to get like at the dollar store, you get a box, a really pretty box with tissue, and then you can buy some great chips, melted chocolate, and then dip like halfway, not the whole chip, maybe like halfway up, and then you can just dip the chips in the chocolate, let them dry on wax paper, and then put them in the box as a gift for your neighbors or at work. People go crazy for that because you have the sweet and the salty, and like people just don't think to make that at home, but that's a nice little gift actually.
Yeah, I also like the Chex Mix with like Worcestershire and like the cayenne pepper, and then you put them in the oven. I like that a lot too.
I need to remember.
Here we are talking about food again. We did this on the last slide. We need to break this trend because I'm gonna like get off here and want to eat again. And we have true crime to talk about tonight as soon as Sunny comes back.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm wolfing down some of this spaghetti and bolognese and garlic bread.
You go ahead and eat. We can still talk about
Sunny,
food.
do you have a video or anything you want to put on for Idaho or anything?
Well, it's not that I had videos. What I was gonna say was okay, well, I'll show you a few things that I was going to show you. Present. Okay. I know that most of us had seen this already.
Yeah.
So if anyone does want to go to the stream themselves, if you do have a Twitch login, or even if you don't, it's easy enough to make one.
Right.
So this is called the Carbonara Effect. That's the episode, or what you want to call it, the live stream, where it has Maddie and Kaylee. Madison, and Kaylee on here. And it starts about, let me just go to it. It starts about, let's see, about the 3 hour, like
right
40-second mark. There's that guy.
Because they start their stream at 10 p.m. So around 1 something would have been the right time. Yeah, 3 hours.
Yeah, to be honest with you, when I personally was watching the stream myself today, because I just wanted to go to it myself and watch the whole thing, and that I'm so sorry, but that Jack what is his name? Showalter. Yeah. Oh, that guy bugs me every time I was watching it. Like just so weird. But I mean, if he is just a friend and he, supposedly was making sure that they got home safe, because I kept thinking to myself, well, why is that dude not buying anything? And then when the girls leave, he just kind of like, sometimes in a clip they kind of get deceptive because some people will show the clip and they don't show it in its entirety, and it's almost like they show him following the girls when really he veers off to the right side and goes around a completely different corner. But at first I'm like, dude, why aren't you buying anything? Like, you're literally just standing there. You came around the corner with the girls. But I mean, it would make sense that he wouldn't buy anything if he was with the girls and, was just trying to make sure that, they got home okay. And then next thing you know, they're getting the food and then they take off and the one guy points and he's like, what's up with that? And then it's almost like he just looks down there, kind of almost like waves and then goes the right way. But every time I watched it, I was like, so meaning if you take it for what it is and that he was a friend, that was just, making sure that those drunk girls made it home okay and stuff like that. Because you can tell that, especially, I think it was Madison. Is she the one that was in the blue, right?
She's pink.
Well,
she's in the pink and black. She has a big oversized coat on and a pink. Yeah.
Okay. So the big oversized coat. Okay. And so, I mean, if you take it for that it was somebody that was whatever, and then they kind of went off and then he was like, okay, well, I'm heading off too, back my way. Because I kept looking at it going, But anyways, if anyone does want to watch it on Twitch, you look for the Cabanera effect. And I put out a video today too, where the Grub truck, the guy who's working at the Grub truck reminds me of, I'm not sure who that is, to be honest with you. So that's the episode that you look for if you do want to. And it's at about the 3 hour and 40, just about the 3 hour and 40 minute mark. You can start watching it yourself if you really want to do that. And then there was, I'll show it again. So then there was this dude, kind of reminds me of Greeno, to be honest with you, in a certain ways. This guy, Jonathan Lee Riches Investigates. Doesn't he kind of remind you of Greeno? When you stare at that a little bit.
I don't know enough about him to put that label on him personally.
No,
I've watched a couple of his videos today.
Oh, no, just that picture. I meant, does he look? He looks like Greeno when you kind of first stare at it. I know it's kind of too small to show, but it was one of those things. I mean, truthfully enough, I mean, honestly, if you look up the dude, you're gonna see, little.
I don't know a ton about him.
No, I actually, to be honest with you, I only started watching his stuff because it came up in my feed. I had Googled him and whatever, and then there was let me put it this way: there's a few little Greeno things about this person if you actually look at his history, but I could have cared less really about that. I just happened to Google it, type of idea, pull him up on Intellius, take a look. Didn't really care, to be honest with you. At the end of the day, the dude is bringing you live information and coverage from Moscow. And so if anyone hasn't seen it, his name is Jonathan Lee Riches Investigates, and he has all these videos out there that he's done one at 8 hours ago, 9 hours ago. Yeah, because he's, I mean, obviously, he's there in Moscow, doing the coverage. So he's just popping out videos left, right.
Can I show you my favorite thing about him?
What?
All right, so I don't know if anyone's watched him, and I'm sure I would probably do the same thing, but he does this. So when he turns the camera on himself, because he's been doing like on the scene videos, like where he's driving around, walking around places, and every time he turns the camera on himself, he goes like this.
Yeah. He got a bad rap during the Gabby Petito.
This person?
Oh yeah, he was on the lawn and with Bullhorn Betty, and they were doing. Oh god.
Oh, is that guy?
Oh god.
He was like trying to walk into the corner club. He was like, there were a few times I even was watching, and I'm not criticizing him, but there were a few times he like was walking into situations where I was like, I can see where, like, if I were a local, I might be a little annoyed by that kind of intrusiveness of people videoing me, like, even when I'm not asking for it. But 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 I'm also not going to say if I were in that situation, if I were in Moscow, Idaho right now, that I wouldn't probably be doing something similar.
You
So
would
I'm not.
never act like him, Adam. There's no possible way you could act like this guy.
This guy is totally a green bean in a lot of ways from what I've seen personally. And like I said, I mean, I don't know enough about him. I appreciate the coverage that he was doing. Is he calling himself media and a journalist and a lawyer?
Right.
I mean, it seems like it reminds me of a lot of Greeno. And if I pull him up on Intellius, there's reasons for that. But I was just
what?
You know what? Not really even caring, to be honest, either you can watch him or not. You know what? At the end of the day, what you come to realize is it's amazing what people preach and what they do. And it's no different than that Joseph Morris guy. There's people that will unfollow, and then there's always those people that will follow, like Greeno. No matter what that guy does, there's always going to be those people. But that's a personal right and a personal choice. So whether you like this guy or don't like this guy, that's someone's own personal choice. For me, I was just watching the videos for what they were worth. And I like the fact that it gives you the bird's eye view of, he takes you to the house, he takes you around Moscow, he takes you around the different sorority places and stuff like that. Regardless of all the lives that he's done and whatever, for how much personal gain, obviously, and again, each to their own what they do on their channels. I was just happened to show up in my feed watching it, and I found myself just sitting there like watching the entire live pretty much going, oh, okay. I love that feeling of being right there, that you can kind of get the whole vibe thing. I haven't looked into him enough. Don't really care to be honest with you. He obviously gets quite a few views off of these, and everyone's interested. I don't think it really matters what form of life people are. If people are interested in a case, they're interested in a case, and they'll go to any channel as long as they're covering something that they want to hear or listening to. I just happened to watch some that I thought, let me just quickly Google this person, and then, like I said, just do my own research. And like I said, if you want to go to the guy's channel, go to the guy's channel. And the other person's channel, obviously, that put out some stuff was Truth and Transparency.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, let's go. Where's that one?
Someone was supposed to send me this body cam footage, and I'm still waiting because I want to see it from all three different cops.
Oh, okay. Well, all you have to do is go to Truth and Transparency. And
No. I want the actual footage so I can look at it myself out.
Yeah. So in saying that, Adam, I'm just curious. So in saying that, where do you think that this footage came from?
I think it came from a FOIA request.
A which? A
FOIA, the Freedom of Information Act. I believe that that's something that you can that's how the other body cam footage from the drunk kids in the field. That's how that got released. It's how a lot of things in the United States get released. It's how Marvin Frank got some information on some of the Flora stuff. We've yet to see some of it, but I'm still anxious to see that. But you can file something called a FOIA request, and and law enforcement is given the ability to then present you with the information you're requesting. Yeah. And so it was a public record that there was a noise complaint call to the murder house. I'm sorry, I hope that's not callous that I've been calling it the murder house in Moscow, Idaho. And this was on 9/1/22, so not long after the semester started, but after all the roommates had moved in, and it's a party they were having, the police got called for a noise complaint. And I believe that that someone requested this through that avenue, and they were presented with the 3 different body cam footages from the different police officers. And it might have nothing to do with the case, but I find it incredibly interesting to give context to the type of living environment that it was. and I'm not victim blaming at all whatsoever, but we don't live in a. I mean, let's not sugarcoat things. Sadly, the lifestyle and the behavior of someone if that's been murdered. I believe looking into anything within the last few months of their behavior, of their routine, of their lifestyle, I think that it's fair to look at information like that. And I'm not saying these girls or this did anything wrong, but gives an insight into kind of like what the environment of that house was like. And I wasn't surprised at all because I was in college. So I mean, I've been in a million experiences just like this night where these kids from this camera footage, but I just wanted the raw uncut footage for myself so that I could like decipher it without no offense to truth and transparency, but I just wanted to decipher it for myself.
Well, absolutely. So myself as well, like, I mean, I didn't watch all of it. I watched a good fair chunk of it.
She hasn't released all of it, I don't believe.
Pardon? Yes, she has. I believe she has now.
Oh, she has now. I have not, because I haven't looked at it. But yeah, so there were all 3 different cops body cam footage
on there. So yeah, I mean, like I said, there. It's one of those things. I mean, good on the channel if that's what they did and got this information, because I too, like anyone, it gives you, a little look into what was going on a few months previous. And, what really got me was actually what really more annoyed me was watching this and watching just how long it took them to come back to the door. Like,
but think about it. Put yourself in that standpoint. Put yourself back at that age. You're underage. Because I do believe that was Bethany, that one of the surviving roommates that opened the door the first time.
Yeah.
She claimed not to live there. But if you're so you're completely innocent. You're a college student. You're underage. Your biggest worry in the world is getting in trouble with something like that. So, you answer the door. Oh, cops are there. Noise violation. Everyone has alcohol. So think of, first of all, how many people ran out that back door. But then 2, you're like, oh no, yeah, let me go get the owners. Yeah. So you disappear. There's probably all the scrambling upstairs as far as how do we handle this? Probably. What do we do? Who's going to go downstairs? And then they make the 2 guys go down.
Yeah.
So I mean, that didn't seem odd to me at all.
Well, you know what? I mean, I don't know, but sorry, but that's not how I would do things, honestly. If I would be shitting bricks if I opened up the door and the cops were there, but I doubt that I'd be sitting there going, here, let me just close the door on you. So I understood that she did it, but
did you ever live in a college environment like this though, Sonny? We're in a sorority fraternity or on campus?
I still think that I don't know. I get what you're saying, but I don't think you have to put yourself on a college environment to sit there and still be a little bit respectful of the fact that cops are literally at the door.
Absolutely.
I'd be so willing to close. They literally told them to keep the door open and then they close it.
I know that when I was in a fraternity, I can say that when I was in a fraternity, we were given tips and instructions from our on how to best to play dumb in situations like this. And it's exactly what I saw happen where anytime someone's asked, do you know who lives here? Everyone says no.
Yeah.
And I know that it sounds ignorant. When we're watching it, you're like, oh, these dumb kids, they're making it worse than themselves. But those were some of the tips we were given. When the cops come at the door, if you're not the one they're looking for, you're like, oh yes, you be polite and you say, and you go, and then, you can take as long as you want. And then if someone comes back down and they're like, we don't know who lives here. Because, I mean, those are certain tactics that we were told, kind of to get out of situations like this.
Yeah. I mean, Ivy, I don't think that they're going, I don't think they're sitting there going, well, if I leave the door open, they're probably got a probable cause. They're probably all just in panic mode. And
they're freaking out. They're kids. They're freshmen.
that's all I could picture happening when the door closed. Was that they're just all scrambling around, going, which way do I go? Which way? What the hell? There's cops at the door, you know? And it was
Right.
like, but I was amazed for the cops' patience, considering that door seemed to be closed for quite a while. Like, I'm amazed that they weren't still banging on the door going, hello? Like, hello? We're like, you guys are making, like, they were making it worse, even though they were just saying, hey, we're here for a noise complaint.
Right.
You know,
We're also
type of
looking
thing.
at it through adult stand. We're looking at it through the eyes of adult. Like we're
No.
at a point in our lives where we're looking at it because that's like, you idiots, why would you handle it this way? You made it worse for yourself.
You know.
But
Well,
that's just where your mind's at when you're there, you know?
I just remember, you know, I can't help it, but I go back to when I was like 17, 18 years old, and I was with Dion. And all of a sudden I open up the door and there's these police officers there. And I'm like, hello? Like, what are you guys doing here? And they're like, well, we, someone like heard that Dion had stole somebody's battery out of a vehicle. Mm-hmm. And I literally had no clue about it whatsoever. But I also knew that his brother needed a battery for his car because his brother's car had died. So I, of course, deny, because I didn't even know that they had done it, but I knew that it must probably be true. And I'm like, you know, and I shut the door, but I was standing outside of the apartment and I'm talking to them and they're just like, you know, and they're trying to get me to say like, yeah, you know, like I probably know about it, you know, Nope. Literally. I was like, nope, don't know nothing about it. But I'm thinking, are you kidding me that you literally put me in this position, Dion? Like, seriously? Where I'm half, go ahead.
Look at the number of people.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 69?
Sorry.
Yeah. No.
So he put you in what situation?
Just a situation of literally opening up the door to find that there was police standing there. And I was just in my head. And I was about 17, 18. And I was kind of like in panic mode because I'm like, what are you doing here? Why is there cops at my door? And I'm sitting there lying. And I hate lying. But what am I going to do? Yeah, sure. Yeah. He's just in here right now. You know, so, you know, I go in there and I'm like, what the hell did you guys do? And he's like, I guess somebody's seen, you know, him and his brother, you know, taking a battery from the car or something like that. And I'm just like, you know, that's what happens when you get with the bad boys instead of sticking with the good boys. You know, I was with Dion from when I was like 15 years old to 26. Very abusive relationship, by the way. Who would have thunk? But anyways, it wasn't me. It wasn't my lifestyle. You know, that's why I had to get out of it. I wasn't into, you know, all the drugs and different things going on. And, you know, but it's like you pick the bad boy instead of the good boy because, you know, you're just sometimes stupid and do things that you shouldn't, you know. Because I was always just the one that liked to have innocent fun. Never was a problem causer and stuff like that. But I just remember how I felt and I was just standing there panicked beyond belief because, you know, for me, the worst fear is you open up your door and there's some cops standing there and you're like, what are you doing here? But anyway, so, I mean, I get the fact that these people are panicking, probably racing around, running out the back door, you know, and stuff like that. I was just, from how long it took, I was amazed that they had patience. And I think that they were like, knocking on the door again, like, we're just here for a disturbance or whatever. And then they're all claiming, like you said, dumb, like, oh, no, nobody's here that lives here. But anyways, the part I was quickly going to play was when they're talking to Madison. So I'll just quickly play that for a second. And
on this phone here. All right, can you hear me, Maddie?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Do you live at 1122 Queen Street?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So, hey, the reason that we're here is that we received a noise complaint of loud music, partying. Okay. Once we approached the house, people started running away. They left a bunch of alcohol behind. We're not even coming for alcohol. We're coming for the noise complaint. And then we sat here for approximately 10 minutes trying to knock on the door. No one would come to the door until these two gentlemen came down and actually answered the door. So right now, if I can, I would like to collect your information, your name.
Okay, so these are the options that I came up with where Maddie is Maddie's either there.
We'll stop that there. Anyways, you guys can go watch it over at Truth and Transparency's channel. If you want to watch, the full episodes over there. There's, again, 3 different police officers that have body cams. And that one that I was just playing there, that was, I think, the second one that she had played that had, the conversation with Maddie. And that's so sad. It's because that you're hearing Maddie's voice and that Maddie's no longer with us.
I believe Kaylee was there that night too, because I heard in the first cops body cam footage, I heard before they walked up to the house, you could hear them because they had the window on the second level open with the fan blowing because it was summer still, and I could hear people say Kaylee, Kaylee, Kaylee. So the roommates were in the house.
Right. Yes.
And I don't know if anyone else noticed this, but when you're looking at that body cam footage, you see the bedroom on the first floor with the red curtains.
Yes.
Which would allegedly be Dylan's bedroom. There's nothing in what?
The one that was a storage room with golf clubs?
There's nothing in that room except golf clubs and storage stuff. Which she'd already lived there for months. So I'm like, what room did she live in at that point? And did she move to the first level later? Because there was another bedroom that was vacant on the second floor that people are, kind of contributing to the roommate that was the 6th roommate on the lease. But I'm like, so did Dylan first live on that second floor? Because she's also in social media post on that second bedroom, on the second floor bedroom. And then I'm like, did she move to the first level after that? Or why is that room a utility room? And then 2 months later when the murders happened, that's her bedroom. So I'm just curious as how that, because I would always ask that question about all the social media posts that she put out. She was in that bedroom on the second floor that was vacant, allegedly. So I'm just wondering if maybe she moved down there. I'm not saying there's nothing nefarious there. I'm just saying, did she move down there after this?
Yeah.
It's just curious to me.
Yeah, I know. And it is because, this is in September 1st, basically,
Right.
Obviously the murders happened November. So, was that room still like that at that, probably, I'm thinking.
Right. And there have been rumors that both the first floor roommates were in the same bedroom as well. That they were actually in the same bed as well, just like the other roommates were all kind of sleeping together.
Yeah.
That's probably true.
So maybe her room really was on the second floor, but she was just sleeping downstairs with Bethany on the first floor.
Right. Yeah, just a very sad case. Let me just quickly say hi to Lakeside Justice. Hello, everyone. Just getting our power back on in the midst of a northern storm here. It will be a white Christmas. So let me just ask everybody, is everybody feeling the effects of this little front that's going through? Because I know here in Vancouver, we don't get very much snow, but we got, my husband's like, honey, there's tons of snow outside there today. And it was just coming down, and we're expecting snow throughout this week coming up for Christmas. Do you guys have snow where you are at all?
No.
Oh, no. But it was showing Adam on the Weather Channel. Actually, for a few days, it was showing that we were going to get snow on Christmas. Now it's not there.
Yeah. I asked them to take that away.
Yeah.
I asked them to take that away. I was like, no.
I would like it for Christmas.
Snow is so pretty. It really is. I lived in Alberta half my life, and trust me, you don't want to be in minus 50 and stuff like that. Minus 50, okay, you guys, I don't know what that is in your temperature, but let me just put it this way. You're lucky if your, Christmas balls don't fall off, or your boobies, one of the two. because when you just like go outside and instantly you're just like, anyone, let me put it this way, anyone that ever owns an acrylic purse, okay, the only thing you're going to hear is something go crunch. I used to, when I worked in ladies accessories and stuff, and I had this acrylic purse instead of leather, oh my God, it was the weirdest sound ever listening to this purse crunch up when the cold weather hit it. I was like, huh, like this is what I'm just learning. And I'm like, huh, is that what happens to acrylic purses, or not leather ones? But anyways, it was literally like somebody crumpling up like a candy wrapper. It was weird. But anyways, snow is beautiful. Thank goodness for here in BC. Our weather is pretty warm. So like right now, if I look outside, there's white on the trees and on the roofs, but the ground itself is moisture, because we get a lot of rain in Vancouver instead of snow, more so. But it's so beautiful to look at. It is when it's like, especially when it's untouched, and you look out but it's for the driving fact. People don't know how to drive in the snow unless you actually live in a country, even then they can barely drive, but they're a lot better usually because they're used to driving in half the year of snow. But so that's the only reason why I actually don't like snow is because of all the accidents that happen that come with snow. So,
well, I grew up in Southern Illinois, so I mean, much like Indiana for anyone that lives there. Like I grew up driving I grew up in like the snow. And now that I've lived in North Carolina for 20 years, I mean, you put a half an inch of snow on the ground, I slide all over the place. I can't drive it anymore. But
hey, Adam, question here. Yeah. I have a question for both you and Aspen. You go at -50 wet hair. Would it freeze and break off? Let me tell you. It would not
break off.
Would it freeze and crack? Absolutely.
I mean, it can definitely freeze, and it can make it more brittle. I mean, but unless it was already super proteinized, it would not break off. I mean, it could get more brittle, but I doubt it would break off.
Yeah, I don't think I can't say it will break off, but it will definitely be an icicle. It will definitely turn into an icicle very, very, very fast. As fast as you walk outside is as fast as it's pretty much turning into an icicle.
But I mean, hey, you look, there's a lot of places in the world, your husband's country included, Sonny, where, on New Year's Day every year, they jump in the water. Ooh. And it is below freeze. It's, and so, I mean, they get out and that hair freezes immediately.
Well, so. I was going to say, though, not too many people reach temperatures unless you live in maybe Alaska and different place, a few other places.
England, Ireland.
Where it gets to -50 plus wind chill. I don't know about Ireland. I don't know nothing about Ireland.
I mean, it's right there geographically the same as England. So
yeah, but they're not going to get -50 weather.
No. But that water is going to be super.
Water, cool. Yeah. Or I just remember the one year it was like -50. That's without the wind chill, and literally nobody's vehicles would start. My ex-husband, he had his work vehicle, and then we had the one in the garage, and that didn't matter if you plugged that vehicle in; those vehicles were not starting.
Right.
Again, you literally just go outside and you're just asking for frostbite. And, I remember when my poor husband, now my husband, Steve, because my ex-husband's name is Steve. And we were at the hotel. This is when we were running the hotel in Saskatchewan there. And anyways, it was frosty outside. And he was fixing this ashtray that was outside, and he was on the ground, his knees were on the ground. And then he goes to get up, and his jeans are literally sticking to the pavement.
Right.
And my husband had frostbite on his legs for a good couple of months because I wasn't even thinking about it, because it's like you're looking at the ground and yeah, it's cold outside, but you're not thinking that you're literally the jeans are going to stick to it.
Right.
And his poor little kneecaps, those things were frostbitten for a good couple of months. Like he literally got frostbite. And they were so sore because again, sometimes you don't think of things like that. You're just cold, but you don't think your legs are going to stick to the ground. And it's kind of like those people that put their wet tongue on a frosty pole and then it sticks,
That
and then they
can happen. Yeah. And like misstep, I can say, like what you were saying about the icicle thing, that actually can happen. That has happened and killed people before. Of course, not like maniacally, but people have like gotten hit by a falling icicle and been impaled before. So
yeah.
I was actually thinking about because I love the Irish and English like traditions, and setting like kind of like that rebirth of like jumping in that kind of a water. I've actually thought about, even though it won't be as cold here, doing that on January 1st this year because I've never done it, and like going to the lake and diving in just to kind of set my intention for the year.
Yeah, like you would expect Gonza to do something like that,
right? So if I do it and then y'all don't see me again after like the second week in January because I get hypothermia and I
don't do it.
You don't want to go with me, Callie?
No, I'll pass on that one. But I'll be happy to take a picture if you want support.
Right. Maybe I'll just go to Indiana and I'll look at fish.
Okay, you guys, I don't want to be much longer. I would really like to go finish off my dinner. No, that my husband made for me. We're already almost at the 2-hour mark.
For once, I'm over here wanting to talk, and Sonny wants to go to bed.
Well, I can go. You guys can stay on. No, that's fair enough. I mean, that's okay to do too. I just I'm sitting here, keep looking at my dinner that I keep getting little bites of. But my husband always does it during a live. Is when it always happens. He'll be like, dinner, and I'm like, oh, I want to eat it so bad, but it's nice and hot and warm. But now it's cold. There's nothing worse than eating cold garlic toast. That way. That's why I was like,
I threw it back in the oven for a minute.
Yeah, no, I already ripped it apart, and when I turned off the camera, I was like, get down there. I love garlic bread. Who doesn't love garlic bread? Honestly. But I was going to say, does anyone have any questions that they want to ask? We'll use the
I do want to save it till Tuesday because I need to know how to cook a prime rib, and I figured Lewis might know.
Yeah. Don't forget on Tuesday is Just Guess, Lewis and Sonny. That's at 9:30 on Tuesdays. That's every Tuesday, once a week. There's also the Facebook page for that. You guys can go into the WLO link and do that because that's next time I believe that we're on because it's Sunday today. Sunday?
Yeah. Kelly, you should ask. You could also ask. I bet Deb has some good tips on cooking up.
Yeah, I have to hit up Facebook. I need to get current with that.
I bet Deb has tips on that.
Tuesday nights are so fun, you guys. If you're not already coming over to that channel, just ask us, Lewis and Sonny. Like seriously, it's honest. I wish that one was longer too, because we get on a roll about so many different topics. It's not about true crime. But you wouldn't believe the stuff that gets covered there. I'm like on Amazon half the time ordering crap because like I'm getting ideas. But
I know I have a little FOMO over it. I have a little FOMO over it because I'm like, I'm pretty credible. Oh my God.
I like the fact that it's about pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Any topic and what you don't know, I know people can go to Google and stuff like that, but I always think it's kind of fun when, that people can come in, find a home spot kind of, and then we can talk about different things. It's like I was talking about, like the Estee Lauder Foundation, and I was talking about,
I used to work for them.
What'd you say?
I used to work for Estee Lauder.
Oh, did you used to work for Estee Lauder?
They own Bumble and Bumble.
Yeah. That's what I need help with, to find the right color. I don't want to go into the store.
That's lazy. That's just lazy.
I know.
No, I don't like
stores. I wasn't invited to be a part of that. I might have to just start my own.
Yeah, you might have to start. Just ask Adam Channel. I am such a know-it-all. I don't know what I would ask.
Lisa, you and I could do it.
Well, there you go. Yeah, go find your own theme. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's just for me, it's fun because it's covering different things, gluten free, whatever. Like again, I'm gonna get my husband to come on one of the shows here. I think Alexa's gonna be on Tuesday. See how she's feeling. But for people like I said, there's a lot of females out there that live by themselves that maybe just need a simple, tip or trick or something like that with something in their house. And Lewis is a wealth of knowledge himself, and like that's what I is always great too. Like when Adam was on, he's talking about hair and the different things that people have, and it's just nice to be able to literally look at someone and ask them a question, right then and there, instead of it's when what I mean, someone that's in the field, got expertise and stuff like that. So yeah, I like for any of you guys, it's called the Just Ask Lewis and Stuff channel. Yeah.
Lisa, maybe Sunny and Lewis will let us take over the channel on a random night one night when they're not on. And you and I can throw our 2 cents into the ring and give our insight.
How does it feel to be a know-it-all, Lisa? How does that feel?
I mean, I'll speak for Lisa. It feels incredible.
Yeah. Yes, I think you got a shout out about the letters left. What do you think about the Converse symbol? I honestly don't think anything about the Converse symbol. Myself. Well, tell me, who's this channel called Julia? Why does that voice?
What are you talking about? I'm unaware of this.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, okay. So there's this channel, and I only know it because Lewis sent me the link to it and told me that this person.
Thanks for sharing.
I honestly, I totally forgot about it till now. But the thing is, so anyways, when you hear the name Julia, like
I know that you know.
Like the voice sounds very familiar to me. Yeah, whose channel is it? Do you know?
Let me think about it.
Yeah, because the voice sounded very familiar. But anyway,
so I assume the letters are the K and the R, right?
Well, I think what their person was talking about was that that I think Abby's shoes were Converse, and that the BG had Converse or something, and that the star on the cryptic note was another thing about the star about Converse.
Those were not Converse on BG.
Okay, maybe it wasn't BG then. I'm sorry, I don't exactly
Abby,
remember.
I think Abby did have Converse on because Libby had Nikes on.
Didn't James Renner have Converse? I think that was it. James Renner had Converse. I don't know. Anyways, I don't know. But to me, let me put it this way. The cryptic note is only as valid as what it is. The whole point of the cryptic note, who knows what will ever come to fruition with that or not. All I know is it had Jason Palladino, which was talked about by Garrett Kurtz about being part of Delphi, stuff like that. It had KD as the bomb. It has every sign to show that, hey, like this was to do with Delphi. The circle to perhaps the graveyard, but who knows? Honestly, I'm just as intrigued as everybody else, where this Richard Allen, person came. Do I believe that Richard Allen is the person on the bridge? I'm going to say for the most part of me, yes, I do. I can't help but not stare at that nose, that same dropped nose that he has, because, before Richard Allen came along, nobody really, ever, like I said, I mean, my person of interest is absolutely fitting perfectly to everything that epitomized the BG. When they actually apply a name and a face to somebody, then you can go back and look at your work and go, geez, heck, they both look like freaking twinsies, to be honest with you. But there's one thing that always bugs me about the BG is that he seems to have Richard Allen's nose, and it just stares at me the whole time. I can't really, honestly, between the two of them, between KD and the, BG and RA, and it's just uncanny, the similarities to me. But if it's kind of like I put out a video the other day, And I want to tell certain people that they can kiss my ass. Okay, kiss my ass. Okay, if you can't make a heart out of what I showed you, yeah, I think even to the most blindest person, you could see the shape of a heart on there. But there's those people that I'm gonna seriously, like, I really hope you eat your words. Some of you ones that are just so ignorant, when it's just like act like that I just put out images to like throw out images and clouds. Hey, if you can't see it, not my problem. I'm trying to always show people what's at the crime scene so that they can have a better understanding of what has gone on. But these words, all you have to do is go to Ives and what Ives said about the crime scene, about there was so much physical evidence, that anyone would want to take a picture of it. And through my own work, it's been trying to show people, hey, like, look, you got these weird things there, you got these stuffed animals there, you got this cameras there, you got this going on, and you try to do people a favor. And then there's just those ignorant tards out there that always want to knock people down no matter what. That's why you don't do those Facebook groups. A bunch of nasties in there. Sorry, but it's true. And so yeah, I want to give a shout out actually to what's her name, Boyko. Julia Boyko. You can especially kiss my ass. And if you did watch our show, you would know that Adam's on it all the time. So when you say
what happened?
That came from one of the groups or whatever. Like I said, as a kind of a couple of there's always those trolls that make fun of
My
you.
name came into it.
Yeah. Oh, see, that's all part that you want to hear, huh? Okay, so that part.
No. I just that piqued my interest.
No, that part. No, it made me laugh at him because the person like literally said something like, because Julie Boykoyo or whatever your last name is. So if you actually watched our channel, which obviously you're not a regular, you would know that Adam does have a YouTube channel and that Adam is on the show. And it was just like, yeah, I unsubscribed to her. I wish we would see Adam more. Well, obviously, if you watch the show, you would know that Adam is pretty much on here almost every single live. Are you not, Adam, or are you just a figment of her imagination?
I'm pretty sure I get proceeds from the channel, so I would say that means I'm a member of the channel.
Yeah. So, but anyways, yeah, to the
Sunny's
people that
channel, but she lets me be a part of it.
And the thing is that, like I said, Adam he's not tied to anything. If Adam wants to go and do his own thing, he's more than happy to. It's up to Adam. It's always has been. So, like I said, when people say stuff like that, then good. Go unsubscribe here and go subscribe, to Adam's channel if you just want to watch Adam. But just know that Adam is on this channel, and Adam could bring up his own channel, and Adam does do things on his own channel from time to time and stuff like that.
I'm here of my own volition. I'm here because I love Sunny. I'm here because I believe in everything she's saying.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's funny.
Those idiots just get old. Like at the end of the day, honestly. And why are we discussing messages? Because we can. Like I don't know what that's supposed to mean, to be honest with you.
Well, I asked a question in chat, and apparently no one knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, what is it? Can you give us like a little overview about that, please?
What I'm talking, you talking about Julia, or are you talking about what I was just talking about?
No, what I asked something in chat earlier, and
what did you ask?
I didn't realize, because I said there was something that I thought was public knowledge, but I asked if it was something we should talk about on Wednesday that I received that I thought were public information. So I'll have to check into that. But if I'm allowed to, I will bring you all the information on Wednesday.
Is it regarding Delphi or the Idaho, did you say?
It's involving Delphi.
From Greyhounds.
Wait, I don't know about this. No?
I'll look into it, and if I can't, I will provide whatever information I can to everyone on our next live. Because I don't want to betray someone's trust, and because I know someone confided in me with some stuff, but I thought it was public. So
I'm kind of lost actually what you're talking about now.
I'll talk to you as soon as we're done.
Yeah. Like, Yeah, I'm not really
I'll
sure.
talk to you as soon as we're done.
Yeah. And right, we all are a community. That's the whole point, you know. I just don't. I'm not going to get into these people because I literally would have to care. And even just even me talking about it. But sometimes it's go here, poke back. And no, I think the channel's name is Julia, not Julie. It's called Julia. She was talking about Converse on that channel. So if somebody wants to Google it and into there, they can do that. But it was called Julia. Just the voice sounds so familiar to me. And are there fake death certificates out there? It seems to be that way. According to family member, those aren't legit.
Right.
You know, I mean, they're so sloppily done.
Not legit, right?
You know, I would say that they were told that they were not legit by family member.
Yeah.
That that's not how that they look or how they receive them, and you know, like no seal and stuff like that. But,
Yeah.
You
And
know,
just some of the
for ad, that was a great moment, Adam. Make that a short as an ad for you guys.
that would be a funny one.
Hey, Carol. Yeah. She just got back from an Xmas party at Emerald Lake. Oh my God, that sounds amazing. Just hearing that word, Emerald Lake. Aspen Connor being held. Yes, he is. Carol, you know that he's tied down and gagged, and every now and again, right, Adam, you come off your leash. I don't know how it happens, but it seems to happen.
You do know how it happens. You tell me I can get off my lap. You unhook me for a minute.
When you put those on, I swear, is that your Deb glasses? Is that what you called them?
That's what Deb called them.
Oh, her Deb glasses.
She's gotten very cocky since she got this channel.
Yeah. Did you do a copy off you, Carol? You know.
We always want to support Deb. Deb, if you're in, drop your link.
Let me see here. Let's see. Okay. Do you know Tom Webster is still going strong? How many hours later? Gray Hughes is alive at the minute as well. But yeah, Tom Webster's still going strong on his. He's really pulling in some good hours. You know, he's making us look good, to be honest with you. Mind you, he did cover. I don't know. I only watched a few minutes of it, to be honest with you.
I haven't watched any of his stuff this weekend.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't even know he had one the other day. I don't recall seeing a notification, and if I got one, then I did.
Yeah, and Ray Jones. No, that would have been Crystal Lake.
Wait, Ray Jones?
Yeah, Crystal Lake.
Is that the same?
Jason Voorhees. Ray Jones. That was Crystal Lake.
Jason Voorhees trying.
Camp Crystal.
What's with this name Voorhees?
I don't want to. I know we want to wrap up, and I don't want to throw anything else into the thing. But so, has anyone else been hearing rumors about a potential longer? And this, I have no validity to this. I don't know if it's true. I could be totally lying because I've been sent. Some people have sent me messages about a potential longer sentence being given to Greeno potentially. Has anyone heard anything about that?
Well,
No.
I mean, he deserves it, but I haven't heard anything. But that would be,
We'll have to look into it then.
yeah. I mean,
Because I'm curious about that because that release date relatively was coming up.
when's the supposed release date for said?
The next couple months.
Okay. I honestly hope he just keeps staying in there. He's not going to change.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't end your undercover investigation now.
I mean, watch. You're going to watch all these people go, oh, Greeno, I missed you so much. You little thought and conning you this, but hey, Greeno, I support you and everything you do. Yet you would never put up with that for your own children. Never.
Right.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, right. And I wasn't even going to go. I wasn't even like passing judgment or anything. I was curious if anyone else had heard about that.
I hope that it gets longer, and stuff like that. Like, seriously, some of these people get off way too easy for all their, cons. And like I said, dude, you can't even pay your child support, can't, pay your taxes, can't pay nothing. You're a leech off society, nothing but a con man. And you deserve and everything reap what you sow, to be honest with you. I have no time or day for patience for losers like Greeno of the world. They literally suck up the energy of the world, and then there's those idiots that follow them and stuff like that. And that's what they are. I'm sorry, but if someone actually condones that type of behavior, please do not watch this channel at all, because people like that literally try to take away from the world and use their platform as like Joseph Morris to benefit themselves, which is their end goal and stuff like that. Like Greeno literally put out the messages that said, I'm doing Delphi because I want the reward. He puts out those messages. So he has to be responsible for those that he puts out. And, putting out messages about slapping women around, attacking them and stuff like that, and being proud of it. Like, why, as an abused person, why would I ever want to have anything to do with somebody like that? Let alone, just the other things that gentleman is. He's not a gentleman. Excuse me. Let me take that one back. That's not a gentleman. That's a POS is all that is right there. Bottom of the bird cage. Absolutely. I went to a Christmas party tonight, but it was Armenian. Am I saying that right? Armenian restaurant. Mm. I don't even know what that is. What's an Armenian restaurant?
Armenia is a little bit like little bit like Iran. It's a little bit like Morocco. It's kind of a Middle Eastern Arabic.
Is it hot and spicy? Because I can't handle it.
No, just spices, but it's a lot of I love Armenian food.
Yeah. But, I don't really put
myself. You're a simple eater.
I'm a very basic eater. I'm a very, very basic eater. Said that he was denied release in January.
Yeah, I knew that.
Perfect. Scum, stay exactly where you're from.
Mrs. Depp, I might have been like putting that out there, even though I knew a little bit of the answer, but I wanted to see what I had to say.
Yeah, I know. Of course you knew. But yeah, no, that just makes me happy because, like I said, people like that, like he's gonna come right back on the internet as soon as he's able to, try to gain himself his subscribers and people again, gain money off people, and those little sap suckers will fall for it. Oh, you've learned your lesson. Come on. That a person doesn't change their response, not one that has a history of over and over and over and over and doing it. But hey, each to their own. Do what you want. Just
hey, Hugh. Yeah.
You're a bit slow. I didn't see her when I first got into crime. That must be Tuesday's crime. So I don't know who. I feel like I'm having a. Let's see. Organ first. Mine was a mistake actually because I pushed the wrong button in time and Carol went in twice. Oh, talking about the name? Carol. Down in Idaho, swag like Idaho. Tube steaks. The green axolotl. Not even sure who you are, person. Down in Idaho, swag like Idaho.
So, Callie, is there anything you wanted to go over or talk about, or questions or anything?
Chirp, chirp, chirp.
No, I'm good. But I was thinking when she was talking earlier about when the police knock at your door. Funny thing happened to me. I was on the border of Canada and United States in the middle. Do you know where Lancaster, Minnesota is, Sunny?
No.
It's way up there, like 11 miles from the Canadian border. And I was at my friend's house and they were all out four-wheeling. I had to come back to use the restroom at the house. And I'm in there and there's all this pounding at the door, pounding. It was a freaking FBI. And I'm in this house in the middle of nowhere. I don't know anybody's names, any streets, anything. And the FBI is asking me all these questions. Unfortunately, there had been a missing person that they were investigating just generally in the area. But I'll never forget being in the bathroom and hearing, FBI, open up. Talk about scared when somebody's knocking down the door. But I was thinking earlier when you were talking about what's your reaction when they knock at the door. I was really young too. So anyway, I was just kind of laughing about that at the same time. that fear of God was in me, man. I'll never forget that. Anyway, because I'm young. I'm thinking I'm in trouble for something. Even though I wasn't doing anything.
I know, yeah.
But no, I mean, this was great. Good coverage on this. And I just keep praying every day that they find this monster in Idaho or wherever he is now. I was really glad to hear this week that they were expanding the search out further because people kept saying things like rental cars. Rental cars are not 2011, 2013. And,
no, they're not. And Lewis was saying that. No offense to Lewis, but rental cars are one of the easiest things to track because they all have GPS. They all have like a registration. You'd have to kind of be a fool to rent a car. And like I said, no offense to Lewis, but that would have been one of the easiest things for them to track down.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking as well. Like when
they only run them like two years at the most. I've purchased 2 rental cars in my life, the best cars ever, because they're kept up. Oil changes are done all the time. They're kept up well. They're great to purchase because you get them like brand new for way lower price. But anyway, so there was that. I'm glad to hear that, after listening to Ken Maines on what is it? Something No More.
Unsolved No More.
Yeah. In his, I was really always, in my mind, intuitively, I always felt like it was somebody looking through the tree line and watching the girls in their bedroom.
Same.
And when he was talking, if you guys watch that, he's talking about that's exactly what the actual people in jail, that's where their mind went as well. And to look for different things that somebody would do while they were voyeurizing or whatever that's called. So there was just some really good points in that, but he kept saying it's probably somebody who lives 30 miles away. And that was not what I originally felt. I felt like it was somebody like a neighbor. But if you think about it, if a car was just visiting during that night, like let's say the white car, it's possible somebody worked or near the town, knew of the girls, hung out enough to know where they lived, but was actually leaving to go home that might have been 30 miles away. It makes total sense if that's what's happening. When you guys were talking the other night about they're looking 23 miles away or 25, whatever it is, it makes me feel better. They might really be onto somebody's tail than, maybe not. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I had to add about that. I felt like that was really good direction. You guys are covering it really well. And I'm not watching too many channels about it, but I do recommend the Ken Maines one.
When it comes to the Idaho case, personally, I'm not in about sitting there trying to add drama to that case. I don't even really watch other channels on. I watch the news for the most part, the different things or whatever. I'm just trying to keep the Idaho case very, to what is really out there. About possibly, who people think is the target. I don't mind talking about if people think that, it was based around Kaylee or Madison or who. And another thing I don't mind talking about too is this: if people feel like that the person was outside or if they were actually inside first, waiting, or they were outside, because I can see both things happening. I don't, like I said, I don't know all the big drama of what channels, are doing. I don't mind something like Truth and Transparency, where, she's showing footage of something that happened to give you a little bit of insight, because it makes you feel like you're right there, when you're watching the cam and you see what's going on. And even for this Jonathan Investigates person, again, he's giving you, regardless if people think he's a grifter or whatever he is, either way, I'm taking in the information of him showing us, hey, here was the food truck. It was actually nice to see, hey, he was walking right up to the Grub food truck. Here's this. Here, let me take you around town to show you all the different things, and giving factual things. Like, those are factual. And so it was nice to kind of get the feeling of, okay, this is Moscow and this is how far it is from here to here without looking at a Google map and stuff like that. I mean, it's just a Delphi case, or this case is just, one of many cases out there that you just want to see justice come to these families because of the sadness. And, especially when it's small towns like Delphi or even this Moscow, I mean, honestly, yeah, like the fear that's in people that they must feel, knowing that 4 murders that probably one person committed themselves, is like somewhere out there still. And yet the fact that one person, if it is one person, that this person could do it, like literally go inside somebody's home or be there already and then take 4 lives. And again, the question becomes why did these 4 beautiful human beings have to die? And why did Abby and Libby have to die? Like, it's just answers. And I really hope that that both of these cases, I hope that they all, Karina McClurkin's case, just all these cases, it doesn't matter what case it is, they're all sad and they all deserve answers, and they all deserve to be, talked about throughout the community of different, some people pick up different cases and bring awareness to those more so, I don't know, just the Idaho case, like I said, I'm not trying to get involved with the drama side of it whatsoever, but I appreciate, listening to facts that are out there. But, I'm curious, do you think that the person was outside or inside already? What your thoughts would be on that?
I mean, it's possible to me that he was in the house. I don't believe he was. I believe he was watching from somewhere.
Thanks.
But I don't know. Callie, I'm sorry to interrupt.
I mean, I can see it either way, but my intuition has always told me from the moment I heard about the story that it was somebody watching. And at first I really was leaning towards the ex-boyfriend, but because it would be too easy for him to be in the house calling himself to make it look like it's not him, But I don't know enough about him and that relationship. It doesn't matter to me that the family thinks he's innocent. We all know monsters come in various forms, just like Richard Allen. So I'm not buying what the family's saying. That's just their belief system. But it doesn't, whoever it is, I really felt like he was watching them, the girls, and maybe they weren't, I don't know this, but maybe they weren't really great about shutting the curtains. And this person might have been getting peep shows every night. That would really create some sexual fantasy and make them need to go further and further and further, in my opinion. So to me, that's kind of like what it felt like.
Yeah, it kind of feels like that to me a little bit too, Callie. Like that somebody was, watching, had been watching this particular house because of the fact of all these girls that lived in there. Because, like I said, the boyfriend Ethan happened to stay the night or whatever, but it's a house full of girls, and I don't know. That's how I kind of see it myself, that this person was out back watching, had been watching, and probably snuck down through the back way, kind of probably sat there with binoculars. I don't know. I don't know. That's how I just feel, or yeah, maybe it was someone that got rejected, perhaps. I don't know.
Well, the serial killer that Ken Maines is talking with about, who's in San Quentin right now, specifically said that to a person that is a killer. They make eye contact with you for 1 second, and it is like a relationship to them. Right. And Alexa says as well, really, but we will not ever understand how a psychopath thinks. We may think we do. We watch behavioral specialists. We watch true crime, but we truly do not understand what kind of thought process it is for them. So the fact that they could have been walking down the street at one point and one of the girls made eye contact with this monster, and in his mind the relationship was on, whereas you and I would never think like that.
Yeah.
Anytime you're dealing with even Richard Allen, He is a monster, regardless of how he ends up being, well, I'll call it one of the actors in all of this. He was involved. That's clear. I think that's probably clear to most people, even though we say innocent until proven guilty. Who else was involved? Who coordinated that? Whatever, that will come out in court. But look at him. Like, most of the pictures of him, you don't see monster, and so, that's the one thing. We just don't understand how psychopaths think. So when Ken Means is interviewing a guy in prison that has murdered before and has spent 40 years with all of the big serial killers that are in San Quentin, he truly knows how they think. And that was something that came out that I felt like was very important, because it gives us a glimpse into what the monster's thinking.
That's why I personally myself, like, regardless, I don't care if somebody's interviewing somebody from jail and prison, because there's nothing like, again, it's kind of like if I'm talking about abuse, it's because I lived it. I know what I'm speaking of, in a sense. So it's kind of like, so when I'm talking about it, it's from somebody that's had firsthand experience versus somebody that's trying to talk about abuse if they've never been in an abusive relationship. I don't care how many freaking doctors, things, or whatever you got behind you. I would rather honestly listen to someone that is actually, either can speak, about it because of from personal experiences. Because those are the people to me that can tell you best, how they're thinking, because they think like that in a sense. So I don't know. I call it organic or whatever, but I just like I said, if you've never been through something, I don't care how many doctor's degrees or whatever you got, don't care. Like your knowledge is good for certain stuff, right? Unless you truly live in it yourself or have truly done it or been a serial killer yourself. Those type of interviews interest me because although my mind can't comprehend what they're doing, but I can still listen to what they're saying. And, like I said, because they're literally acting out those things real. And that's why they're in prison for it and whatever. I don't know. It just gives me more deeper insight to me when you're actually listening to somebody that's actually, has done that stuff. So I would take that interview. And I like Ken Means. And I know that he was interviewing the gentleman from, within the prison system there or whatever. So stuff like that interests me, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad that they're where they belong. But, if it wasn't for those people, those ones give you the studies to kind of give you, again, like all that stuff helps give insight into, the studies and stuff like that, about why people think the way that they do or what maybe imbalances that they have. I don't know. Or what happened in their childhood that created, some little monster. I don't know. I just take everything with a grain of salt regardless. And, hopefully the truth will prevail and justice prevails for the victims of any of these people that have died at hands. Yeah. Go on. Keep going on about the hair. Thank you, people. Thank you so much.
That's great. I really like that color.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's the shirt, but it's really coming off like a purple, plummy kind of purpley kind of almost color. Oh no, thank you. Anyways, yeah, Deb, go on, Deb. Let's go on. Someone was talking about, I think it was a Freckle Joy. Freckle Joy was talking about some sort of vehicle. What vehicle was that earlier?
No, they're talking about boob jobs.
What was it? It was I don't know.
I'll be right back. I'm in the restroom.
Yeah. Range Rover. What about a Range Rover? Who owned a Range Rover?
Well, one of the girls got a new vehicle.
Kaylee had gotten a Range Rover the day before, and that's why she had came to Moscow that night or the night before because she wanted to go to a party, and she also wanted to show Maddie her new car.
And and she was talking about the price of it, which we don't know how it was purchased, if they got a lease or, we don't know that they put $40,000 on the table.
Right. Well, no, I keep going off to go to the bathroom, and then I see that. So what happened? It was a used Range Rover, and I looked it up, and the normal range of the vehicle that she bought at the year she bought, even if it didn't have super high mileage, was not nearly as expensive as you would think. It was like 20. The numbers escape me right now, but it was like 20 to 23,000, 26,000. And she did have a new full-time job that she was getting to start in February. She could have gotten a hiring bonus. Her family said she bought the car herself. So the payments on that, I was looking it up, would not actually be outrageous at all. So for people saying that was like unlikely she could afford a car like that, it could easily be done.
Yeah, and I think
it was not $40,000. It would have been like 20 to 26 at most.
If I remember right, she traded in a vehicle, I think.
She sold her vehicle previously, but yeah. So yeah, I don't think there's anything suspicious about her buying that car at all.
And there's I've not ever heard anyone talk about her if she had implants. I don't really know if that's relevant, but it doesn't matter. And
right. Lots of people have implants. I don't think. Yeah. Who cares?
No. I don't even know talk about that anyway. That was
right. I'm just kind of like looking at chat, but that's just not really something that we need to know.
On there. Yeah. Well, I was going to say, want to ask you, because this is where I think it was on Truth and Transparency. I mean, you can very well see that there's a white car when the cops are, talking to the boys and stuff like that. And then I remember the question was posed like, well, what if maybe this was the car? In all fairness, I don't think that the LE is that stupid that they would be putting out looking for an Elantra when, and that car is clearly looks like an Elantra kind of, but it's not an Elantra. The Elantra is what you see going down the highway away from the gas station, but they put out that about the Elantra before that footage was even put out there to the public. I'm not something like that right there. I could care less about if there's that white car there. Obviously, I'm pretty sure that they're a little bit more smart enough to understand that the car that's out front is not the car that was, that was the Elantra that they were looking for. None of this what if stuff. I don't think what if nothing on that one, to be honest with you. So it kind of looks like an Elantra, but I'm not even going to go down that rabbit hole. It's like if they say that they're looking for an Elantra, they're looking for an Elantra for a reason.
Right.
That's an Elantra that's on camera, that's driving past the gas station, which that is. Then they're looking for an Elantra. That, like I said, the one that's there is similar to an Elantra, but it's not. I mean, you clearly see the license plate of that one too. And again, I'm pretty sure that they're not. Well, I'd like to think that they're not going to flub it, but when you after Delphi here now, you don't even know which end is up anymore because of Delphi. Yeah. Like seriously, when you see that somebody in 2017 came forward, and then they
are you talking about the white car that was at the house?
Yeah, right.
That to my understanding, that was either Dylan's or Dylan's boyfriend's.
Yeah, but it was just the way it was posed. Well, what if? Yeah. What if they weren't looking for an Elantra? Maybe it was this car that they used and then drove it back and stuff. And I'm just like, come on, really?
And the other thing, the only thing that, do you know what makes it unique about the 2011 to 2013 is the reason that they can tell that that specific year range is because if you look at the taillights of if anyone that wants to Google, look at Elantra taillights. The 2011 to 2013, they had very distinctive. They were almost like an S, and there's no mistaking them once you see them. So I feel like that's why they didn't have a license plate, but they definitely have the shape of the taillights.
Yeah.
And that car that was parked at the house was not an Elantra.
What's this Aspen SOS message dating question? What's SOS?
We'll have to look.
Yeah. Whatever, yo, if your daddy can buy a Range Rover, pay your rent, and afford plastic surgery for you, he's rich. I don't care what your definition is. Yeah, absolutely. To be honest with you.
Oh, yeah, not crime related, just a dating question. Not everyone just asks Sonny and Lewis things. Someone just asking dating advice I have to give them.
Oh. Check your messages. He can tell you later, Sonny. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Carol. Now imagine the difference between USD and South. Yeah. Oh my God. I still can't believe that one day I was like in that Law and Order channel and someone puts up like $1 million or whatever it is. And if you actually Googled it, it was like worth $20. And yeah, I think, what is NOK? N-O-K. Where's that from? What fund is that? NOK. N-O-K.
I don't know.
Anybody know which one that is?
I don't see it.
Oh, currency. Let me see. What the heck is NOK?
North Korea? I don't know.
Oh, it's Norwegian. Okay.
Norwegian.
So I saw someone do $200 NOK. What's that? That's 27.70 Canadian. Okay. So I was like, when you see it and it's like, ooh, $200, and then someone's like, oh, nice donation, and you're like, okay, but you know that there's a conversion there that's definitely not going to be $200, and it was like, so obviously it was about 30 something dollars American or whatever, about 35, $40 American. But anyways, but so when you see it in different money, it's sometimes like that. I think it was the rand or whatever it was. It's just like, ooh, or let me do the conversion. Oh, okay. It's just that when you see 1 million, it was like, dang, what is that? I know it's Norwegian, the NOK, and I don't even know if that's how you say it, but NOK, NOK, whatever. Seen a few of that today. There's a different night, dating advices Sundays, makeup Monday.
I think that's great. Well, Tuesday nights is so fun. I mean, I'm like hooked on that now.
Yeah. Kelly's gonna have to come on as well.
Yeah, I know. She was asking me about that. I'm like, I can't really come on and talk about my work or career, but I'm starting to think of other things.
Yeah, well, right. Again, it's kind of like Alexa. She's a profiler. Former profiler, handwriting expert, and whatever. Right? She loves to do crafts. And again, myself. I like to do crafts, whether it's videos or whether it's painting or whatever. I don't know. Like there's that side of me that has a lot of knowledge when it comes to certain things, right? People are so judgy.
I want to see you teach Adam how to paint. I do want to see that.
Teach. There's some really amazing painters out there like that. Whether it's graffiti or whether it's finger paint, there's people out there that just have such. Remember, like there's that 8-year-old girl. She's probably 12 now or something. Anyways, and she would do the most beautiful Jesus pictures. Just amazing work. And it was is that, like she said, it's like not like I was, not like I had lessons. I just woke up and I was able to like paint like this, just a natural, amazing. And that's really where you start going, about the whole, was I a painter, a Picasso in my previous life or something like that, because there's some things that you just are unexplainable, whether it's a 3-year-old that is a freaking scientist already, there's just some of those things out there that just really do make your head spin, and you're like, did something happen there and you missed a turn, in your past life, and you all of a sudden became a 3-year-old little rocket scientist. I think that's kind of what happened to Elon Musk. He just came out of the womb probably with calculations, in his head and stuff like that. It always, I don't know, I find it very interesting, that someone, I don't know, that someone could like.
Thank you, Yanni.
What you going on about? I'm so really bummed that I missed the Robert Lindsay live, so I couldn't give him a piece of my mind. Well, I think enough people gave a piece of the mind
Right.
for you. Um,
Thank you, Eddie. I appreciate everyone that's reached out to me and thanked me for whatever. So thank you.
you know, um, yeah, we're not. That live can stay on its own, and people can go watch it if they want, or or not. It's up to you. Definitely, definitely a controversial live, but then again, yeah, I don't put much thought into stuff like that, to be honest with you. There's a lot of people out there that don't like certain people and whatever, but he's definitely a controversial one out there.
I respected everyone's opinions all the way around the game. I respected everyone's opinions because they were coming from all different perspectives, and I understand and I see every point, and I appreciate every one of them. So because it was very conflicting as well. So I don't go into it, but no. So whether you criticized it, whether you felt it was unfair, whether you appreciated it, I see it all, and I there's parts of me that feel each way about all of it. So thank you.
Yeah. I didn't know anything about him really.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that didn't. I know that don't, to be honest with you.
Right. And I hate for the people that they didn't get some of the information that they wanted, and my goal is always, like I said, I don't want to go into it, but my goal is always to never. I felt like I didn't want to be disrespectful towards a guest on our channel, and I felt guilty and bad that I feel like I could have been disrespectful to this person, but at the same time I really was only responding to the things they were saying, and I don't regret saying anything I said, but I do apologize if anyone didn't think it was appropriate.
I think you were very kind. I felt very uncomfortable because it was like he was just there to talk about Delphi, and he has honestly put out more truth that is now coming out and being revealed from his sources or whatever. But it turned into roast your guest, and that's where I was embarrassed for Sonny, because people in the chat were just roasting him because they had preconceived notions about him, and whether they're right or wrong, or whether they're a good person or not, it was roast your guest, and that's just something you don't do to Sonny and her guest. She handled it. When he went off rail, she clipped it, so everybody probably just needed to step back and trust that she knew what she was doing there.
We did know we were doing.
You did great, Adam. I thought you were very kind to him. I never thought you were him at all.
More than anyone.
It was supposed to be about Delphi.
Yeah.
It got derailed a bit. It was what it was, and that's how I feel about it. Meaning, so it went how it went. It was how it was. Things are meant to happen. They're meant to happen a certain way, and at the end of the day, regardless, when he asked if he should just leave, the best answer was yes.
Yeah, you handled it great.
Because what was coming out of his mouth, regardless, was disrespectful to the girls. It was disrespectful to pretty much everybody in chat. I think that if you are going to say that you're a journalist, though, that you should, I don't care if you crawled from underneath a rock out of a cave and you haven't done an interview before. There's just a little bit of certain etiquette that someone should still have when it comes to when you're talking about victims, or you're talking about, your homophobic issues or whatever it was. There's just certain etiquette about when you're speaking, and the way he was speaking was very disrespectful to the point that I honestly was like, yeah, you know what, just you need to go.
One little update I will give is that I did speak to someone that he publicly named as a source, so I'm not going to say the name. If you watched, you watched. But I did speak to that person directly, and they were, in their own words, clueless as to why that person would have said that or where the information came from, other than there was 2 people removed from them that may have given information they may have thought they said. So to me, that brought some questions into even the credibility of the information he was putting out, saying it came from sources. I mean, because he stated a name that he said was a major source for his information. And that major source told me directly, no idea what he's talking about. So take that as you will, believe who you want. But
yeah,
that,
again, take everything with a grain of salt. You don't have to like people or this or that. And it really becomes about what's the purpose of it. And the purpose of it is about Abby and Libby. Did he take credibility away from himself and his work by how he spoke? Absolutely. So, but it's still not going to negate whether something is truthful or not, and whether it comes 100%. Out as being truthful. And then so who cares? People will go, so yeah, you had some right and da 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 da. Right. At the end of the day, it really just becomes about justice for Abby and Libby, and whether it's crime scene stuff or whether it's what timing and all that stuff. Like I said, hopefully that all comes out in the wash for us at some point, and then we'll get to see the truth. The bottom line is, yes, we're all wondering, why did this happen to Abby and Libby? Why did this happen to the Idaho 4? Why did this happen to Karina? Why did this happen to Ray Hanich? Why did this happen to Nicole Bowen? Why did this happen to, Suzanne Morphew? All these things. Why did it happen? And with the questioning of why, because you're wondering, why would somebody do this? Why would somebody just go into a house and, care for people? Why would somebody take those 2 beautiful children and just in a small little town and decided that these 2 girls' lives were going to come to an end that day? And it's just horrific. But at the end of the day, the one thing you want out of it all is justice. And regardless of what information comes true with Robert Lindsay or whatever, again, there's going to be a lot that's going to be truthful. I mean, we've already seen some of it out of it. And a lot of people want to know that, even if they don't like somebody, take it with a grain of salt, take it for what it's worth, and put your own common sense into it and your own, thinking, and, draw your own conclusions. At the end of the day, hopefully the story will be told the way it's meant to, through the courts, through the system. And hopefully it turns out that, everyone, all you want is justice. And yet, that the system will fail you left, right, and center in many ways. There's people that are wrongfully convicted. There's all the stuff that happens. But with that, you just hope that the truth prevails out of anything, and that, justice is served properly and accordingly. But that doesn't always happen. It's so hard when you're so passionate about a case, and that Libby left this video for the person to be, hey, look it, we're not here no more. But I was wise enough and smart enough to leave this video. So please punish who's ever responsible for doing this to us, and that's how I've always looked at it. Libby, you and Abby deserve answers to what happened to you and the people that are responsible. I don't know what you guys talking about in there now. I got to get going though. It's like we're almost I said, and now we're at like 3 hours. Yeah.
Let's see.
Deb's channel. Did Deb drop her channel? Yeah, there it is. Okay. Deb. Okay, I haven't checked out your thing. I'll have to go check it out, Deb. Was it a third? Was it a short? It was a short.
She's done. Yeah, she's got 3 shorts up now, and she's up to like 120 or 116 subscribers. So good job, Deb. Yeah, Deb's gonna catch me and beat me.
No, you guys don't forget to go to Adam's channel. It's in the link in the bio link here.
Yeah, I'd like to get to 1,000, but I've only put out 1 little short, so.
Yeah. Well, but anyways, so Adam or Kelly, and Kelly, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I know I kind of said, oh no, don't worry about it, and then we're like, come on.
And Kelly, you promised you're coming to see me next time you're in Charlotte, right?
I promise you I will, and I'm going to bring you coffee like you asked for. So
I
don't know exactly where you work or anything, so you'll have a heads up because I don't know where to find you, but I will definitely. Huh?
I'll send you my address.
Yeah, do it. Do you like surprises or do you like to know? I hate surprises. Like,
I wouldn't know.
Huh?
I'd want to know you were coming.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I was raised.
So I can get my filters all on.
Yeah, right. Oh my
You
God,
know,
that's funny.
So Deb always accused me of.
and Deb, let me give you a tip and a trick ahead of time. So Deb put out that one with the Wednesday with the what's that movie called? The one for that Wednesday. Come on, people.
What are you thinking of? What?
It's called Wednesday. That girl Wednesday. What's her name?
Oh, Jenna Ortega, the new show on Netflix.
Yeah, that's it. With that, whatever. But you see, so I put mine out, but I chopped it. And if you chop it and you add some music and then you chop it and put out little pieces of it, you can get away with that and not get a copyright strike. So that's exactly what I did. So in fact, hold on. Just because I'm saying that now. Hold on. Sorry, one sec. Your channel. Where's my little shorts right there? Okay. I'm just gonna do it. So, because Deb had put when you had like with the Lady Gaga song, such a great song, by the way.
I love Lady Gaga's music.
Yeah. So, on here, it's like I made this one here, and I'll just play it quickly. Adorable, that little girl, the little monsters from the Addams Family. So adorable. But anyways, so mine didn't get a copyright strike because I chopped it up so that it didn't get one. Do you know? Because if you chop it up properly, you can still use certain parts of it, but not get the copyright strike to it. And so yeah, so that's what I did. So I didn't get a copyright strike.
That's cute.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, I couldn't help it. I kept listening. I even was watching the show on it that night on when Jenna Ortega was on, I think Jimmy Fallon or whatever. And I can't get enough of that song, to be honest, or that dance move.
My son watched that. I haven't seen the show yet.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I said my son has watched it. I have not seen the show yet.
Oh. Well, I was gonna say I haven't actually seen the movie. You're right. A copyright claim, didn't you say, Deb, that you got one? Because if it's too long, you'll get a copyright claim, not a strike. Just a copyright claim where you couldn't. Well, hold on. I mean, it might say copyright to it, but then Deb's not monetized either. So you have to.
You can still get a copyright claim. I've gotten a copyright claim.
Yeah, without being monetized. You just say it's copyright claim. But then if you want to become monetized, you're gonna have to take all those copyright claims down.
But when you do a short, you don't get a copyright because they let you put the music in.
Well, no, that's not true.
No, they give you the option on YouTube. They allow you to add music.
Oh, hold on a second. That's the new thing that you're talking about.
Yeah, the shorts.
You're talking about the creator music, where you can
on shorts you can add music and it allows you to pick through anything.
Yeah, this is true. Okay, she even what did she say? Her name was Wednesday on the Addams Family. It was so cute. I know. Who remembers Lily?
Yeah. Now, if you were to incorporate that into a video that you put out on YouTube that was not a short, then you would get a copyright claim.
Yeah,
and that's one reason we haven't played Deb's short, because we would play Deb's shorts and my shorts on the channel to promote them, but they have copyrighted music, so we can't.
Yeah,
because then we would get the strike.
You see, YouTube has this whole thing going on too, where they have Creator Tube music, and you can actually use some songs now if you pay a fee to use them, and they're one time only, but you can't use them on lives. But you can use them in videos for one time only. And basically it gives you the right, You know, it's no different than any of those other copyrighted things that if you purchase for $8.99, you can use it once on a
Right.
video, blah, blah,
Because
blah.
I've gotten a copyright claim on like I went to the whole like, you know, what's it called? The music that's free, basically. That you know,
yeah, free. Yeah,
and I've gotten a copyright claim on it, even though it says it's free.
yeah. Is that I know I've had that with Facebook even, or even with YouTube. It's just like I mean, it's free, you know, and I
Right.
couldn't
Royalty free.
Yeah, and I honestly couldn't be asked to deal with it, so all I do is hit remove segment.
And most of them are so bad. Most of that music's so bad.
I know it really is.
It's like
sometimes it takes me forever to find something, you know. And then when I do find something, I usually use it over and over again, just because I get tired of looking for which is the worst music out there. Because honestly, some of it just really sucks.
Right. That's one thing I like about the shorts is that you can put like popular music on it and like it makes it
in there. But yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, you guys, it is the 18th of December and Christmas is next week. And yeah, and so whatever Adam was talking about for Wednesday, I'm not really sure. Other than that, Tuesday is the Just Ask Sunny and Lewis and Sunny, if they're gonna say that right. Lewis and Sunny channel. So if you guys want to join us there, again, don't forget to go to the Facebook too. Put down your favorite Christmas recipes or whatever. I put down the shortbread one, okay? The one on the shortbread box, by the way, the cornstarch box from Canada. Simple thing, just whip it. Have whipped. You want to talk about melt? Yeah, you want to go, Adam. You want to go? Fine, let's go. Here we go. Got 2 glass on. But honestly, if you want to talk about one of the most amazing shortbread cookies to have, you whip it, and it should look like oatmeal crumbs. And like, I mean, I love the candied cherries. I love the candied. In fact, I could literally eat those maraschino cherries all by themselves in there. But anyways, the candied cherries, really great. But anyways, if you want like a shortbread cookie that literally just melts in your mouth, is so soft and so succulent. Use that shortbread recipe off the cornstarch box. It's so good, but whip it. Oh, shortbread was always a downfall for me too. I just remember my Aunt Toots when I was younger. Her name was, well, it's not her real name, but Aunt Toots was what we called her. You could smack those hard boys off of a freaking wall and they wouldn't break. But I just remember them being so thick and whatever. But I prefer the lighter ones. Like you just put in your mouth and it just melts like butter. That's how the whip it real good, Carol. Absolutely. All right. So Adam or Callie, do you have any last words before we go?
No, thanks for having me. Also, you can use those cherries with your holiday ham. It's a secret to putting sweetness in there. My dad would always do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
My mom always put pineapple on top of our hams.
Yeah. I do both and brown sugar.
Both. What are your favorite cookies?
Who, me?
Yeah, both of you.
Is the Neiman Marcus recipe that was like supposedly spelled out years and years and years ago, and it was very secretive. It's online now, but it's basically the best chocolate chip cookie you'll probably ever have in your life. And the secret ingredient is a lot of oatmeal in it, but you'll never taste it because you blend up the oatmeal, so it's like a powdery substance.
Oh, and you should bring me some when you bring me coffee.
Yeah, I haven't made them in a while, but when you make them, no, I'm not even kidding you. And then the other secret ingredient is you not only put the chocolate chips in, you grate Hershey bar. Like you literally grate it on the cheese grater. I'm telling you, if you make those, people will think, I mean, they're the Neiman Marcus recipe that they used to sell in their restaurant in the store. And it was very top secret. And I probably have had the recipe for probably
you should put that on the Facebook page.
5 years. Yeah, I might have lost the hard copy I had in the fire, but I do think that I know that I've been able to pull it offline before. It's a little different than the one I had, but they come out great.
Sunny, what are your favorite cookies?
Mine's shortbread. Mine, yeah. When it comes to cookies, my favorite. I'm not a big cookie person. I'm not a big chocolate person. I'm a chips and dip type of person.
Salty.
butter tarts and shortbread cookies are my two things that I love to have at Christmas time. But yeah, so
For me, yeah. For
and
me,
that
it's
and Oreos.
snickerdoodle.
You know,
I've
which
never
are,
made that.
I love a snickerdoodle cookie.
I don't
Do
even
you
know.
like coconut, Adam?
I do like coconut. A snickerdoodle is like cinnamon and sugar and like I don't know what else is in it. But you would like them, Sonny.
Yeah, you know,
Because we're the same.
I just
We have the
like
same taste buds.
yeah. I like a little, like I like my little sweetness here and there. But I'm not this overly cookie person or chocolate person myself and stuff like that. But for Christmas time it's so hard though. Like even like honestly, Kelly, even when my twin would dip half the shortbread in chocolate,
Mhm.
I never really wanted that one. I still wanted the plain one with the little marsh, cherry on it, type of thing because I don't know. Because chocolate, I can live with. Like I like it now and again. My husband likes it, so that's why if I eat more chocolate, it's because of that. It's not like because I dislike chocolate. I'm a chips and dip person.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody goes through their phases, but the salt with the chocolate, there's something with it, with the chip and the chocolate, especially hormonally. Like there's some kind of weird balance there. I guess it is kind of like Reese's. It's got the Reese's have the
Oh, I
salty.
do love Reese's. Yeah.
Yeah, so it has that mixture of salt plus the chocolate,
The peanut butter, yeah.
Yeah, in the peanut butter, correct.
But
So
I'll take French fries over a cookie any day.
Yeah, yeah.
The older I get, I like chocolate more and more. I will say that.
I was gonna say same. I've had more chocolate, but that's only because my husband has usually chocolate. But of course, being diabetic, I really can't have that much of it anyway. So it's kind of.
I still like the sea salt in it though, like that. I still like
there
that.
you go. Yeah. You know what? My favorite thing. Okay, you guys, fine. Okay, my favorite thing at Christmas time though, besides butter tarts and shortbread cookies, I just like the Christmas oranges. I love Christmas oranges. I love how easy they are. I like how sweet they are to peel. They're just so sweet.
The little ones, like the cuties, or like
Yeah.
the tangerine.
Well, both of them actually, because I buy a lot of the little cutie ones, and I also will have the regular ones. But it was tradition from when we were kids that my mom would buy the Japanese oranges, and they would have that green wrapper to them. And I would line them up, all my little pieces, one by one, because we were poor. And so to get a box of oranges at Christmas time, those oranges, oh my God, meant everything. So I would literally open them, line them all up on that little green paper, and one by one, I would just take my time sucking the sucker right there, and then just, there's 1 minute on that piece,
Everyone, there's your meme for the night. There's if you want to clip apart.
See, she would do that with oranges. I would do that with banana. Like I guess you guys call them banana peppers, but pepperoncinis. When they're whole. I would do that same thing when I was younger. I would just like bite the end of it off and just suck it, just like you're talking about your orange. But what a different taste.
I know, like each night, you guys, seriously, you just make me want to go freaking pound back some like sweets.
I know.
And stuff.
We've been bad the last 2 nights.
Yeah, because honestly, it's making me,
it's a time of year.
And all I'm picturing is, back in the day where those countertops are just filled with, here's your cookies, butter tarts, here's this. You go to our mom's house, and it was just like, the smorgasbord of food everywhere, and you just throughout the day of Christmas, you just snack, and then you have your main thing, and you got your party cracker hats for dinner time, and it's pretty much every time you guys start going on this food thing, my memory, I can't help it, like I really miss, even though I was saying about that today, I just so miss when my mom was alive and going over to her home. My mom had a beautiful home on the mountain, and it was, you walk in and it was like one living room was here, and you went straight, and it was an older home that they had furnished or not, or put some love and care into, but it was a beautiful home on the mountain, beautiful garden, beautiful backyard. It was just gorgeous. But you would go into the living room, the secondary living room, which was the one that you call more like the rumpus room one. But that's where like the fireplace was, and that's where the big tree was. And it's a one piece of my mom's house that you just kind of felt warm and cozy, and the rest of it was all sterile, like white and sterile type of feeling. But in that one particular room, and then you had just all the kids, and everyone just was in that living room, and you just, whether they were up getting food or off in the other living room, and it was like this place of 30 people at least, that you just felt the love and the fun, and you know what I mean? Like those are the moments that I really, really, really love. I could care less about gifts and stuff like that. It was just the moment of, you just look around and the kids are having fun. You're talking with your brothers and sisters, your mom's there, da 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 da. And it's just all gone, to be honest. It's just all gone. And, it's not it's not the same. Right. Darn right. I just wish it was that way. I really miss it on that. But, time moves on. People pass on, and, yeah. Anyways, but that's like my favorite memory of Christmas, and I still wish it was there. I would love for my husband to be part of that feeling, here. It was really when we were in England. Honestly, we were there for 3 weeks a few years back, and we played Monopoly almost every night. And his mom made these amazing dinners with this Yorkshire pudding that was the size of the plate that she would put it on. And I just enjoyed whether we were shopping. It was the first time I've enjoyed Christmas in a really long time, where I literally just enjoyed it, and playing Monopoly and just hanging around with Steve's family and stuff like that. And, everyone's so loving and caring, and it was the first time in a long time that I had a good Christmas. I like the spirit of Christmas. That stuff. Yeah, I'm old enough to remember when fresh orchard fruit and homemade dairy chocolate milk were a thing in Los Angeles. I have no idea about that whatsoever. Belinda, thank you, sending Adam Callie for a chat. A great live. Merry Christmas. Wish you all, wish you guys all a very Merry Christmas. And don't forget, you guys, on Christmas Day, I will be doing a live. I don't care if I'm sitting here by myself. But for all those,
we're gonna do two.
Pardon?
I said, well, that's Sunday, so we have a Sunday night live that night.
We'll see.
You can't take away my Christmas joy too. I'll be home, ready to go.
Christmas dinner, different time zones here, Mister. I want to make dinner and that with my husband as well. So we'll see. I just usually I expect nothing from anybody else, because everyone's doing their Christmas. I think, aren't you going to be at your parents' house anyway?
During the day, but our normal time on a Sunday night.
Oh, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, hey, if we do, we do. If we do two, we do two. If we do three, we do three. Maybe
I'm gonna come home by myself, so I'm gonna people. A lot of people are gonna be with their family, and then they're gonna come home alone, and they're gonna want something to do that night.
Yeah, but anyways, we'll be around on Christmas Day regardless and stuff like that. For all you people that are lonely and don't have anybody and want to spend some time with us and whatever, then you guys can come join us. Alrighty? Okay, so other than that, see you Tuesday on Just Ask Lois and Sunny channel. You guys, other than that, we'll see you on Wednesday for the It's a Crime and Shame. And you guys have a great night, and thank you so much for stopping by. And thank you. And thank you, Miss Dog Lover, for your $44.99, I think it was, pounds that you did donated today. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. You guys have a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you soon. Yeah. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Night.
Yeah. Don't forget to go put up some recipes. Right. Okay. Good night, everyone. Thank you.